Okay, I should probably load the file. I'm gonna walk over to where I would start. If I had just gotten Master Sword, I guess. Not that it matters. You'd be like here-ish. Or something, holding the Master Sword. Okay. So, at this point in the route, you've just gotten Master Sword. So we did, like, all the hard stuff before Master Sword. Now we're gonna go through some dungeons, like, all in succession. It's basically the rest of the run. There's not a lot of overworld stuff. There's some, I guess, but less. There's less of it than in the first half of the route. Because, like, we don't have to go to super great lengths to skip parts of the route, so... Anyways, from here you just want to go ahead and warp to Lake Hylia. So the next place we're going is Arbiter's Grounds, and we can't get to the desert without going through Lake Hylia. So we're gonna go up and go to... I'm just gonna make sure I have everything I want equipped. We're gonna go up to Aru. Oh, thank you for the good luck, Bruggle. I'm not doing runs, I'm actually just doing a tutorial kind of thing, I guess. I'm gonna do some more of the route. I've already done through Master Sword, I think, so... Just gonna, like, go through what I do. Yeah. But it should be fun. I probably won't finish it today, but I'm gonna try. So anyways, you go all the way up here. You'll saw I jump attacked up a ledge as human, transform into wolf, and then jump attack up as wolf. That's basically the fastest way to do this. Climbing ledges is slow. So we're gonna talk to Aru. There's a lot of text here, and we're just gonna say yes. So we drop down here, you can roll, use iron boots maybe, turn into wolf, then go ahead and while you're running as wolf, equip the letter. Okay, and then I jump attack down here so that I have a good angle on where I'm supposed to be going. You can jump down that way or go around here, but I think the fastest way to do this is to jump onto this little thing right here. Because you don't have to climb up a ledge and you don't have to go out of your way. It's a little bit annoying and you have to line it up, but usually if you jump attack off that spot, then you can jump down here pretty easily. It saves a little time. Just thought I'd point that out. So you can transform behind these posts to avoid fire. But you don't want to go past this post, because then Plum will talk to you. So be careful, you want to walk up here and then just start spamming the button, basically. Okay, make sure you actually show fire the letter here, because if you don't, and you choose to go up, then you waste like a minute, because you have to go back up and come back down. It's really terrible. I usually roll 3 times here and then transform, but the one thing you can do is you can pause and then unpause and then immediately transform. Never actually timed that to see if it saves time, but potentially. I go ahead and equip the lantern while I'm walking here, because, I don't know, I just do. You need it in Arbiter's Grounds, and when you're moving as Wolf and don't have anything else to do through here, it usually works. I'm not going to explain my pathing much here, but this is what I generally do. I don't even know if this is the fastest way to go through the desert. If you jump right at this spot in the crack, you can make it over. There's like a couple spots on that crack, I think, where you can make it over, but that's the one I use. Then I just run this way. I should really look into better desert movement, but I don't know that it would save much time anyways. Anyways, then these guys are going to come around to this side of the post, so I dash a couple times, then transform. And then I spin attack these guys. Go ahead and put my sword away so that my shield doesn't burn up. If one guy runs away, that's fine. You just let him be, because you don't want to waste time while these boars are up. If there's only one left, it's fine, because you can only take one of the boars, so you don't have to worry about it. Just if there's two, then you probably should kill one of them. Anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and turn into Wolf. This ledge is slippery, so I usually try to jump attack up it. And you just climb up the ledges like so. I'm not gonna have much time to explain exactly what I'm doing here, because this area is kind of on a timer with the Bulblin archers. But I'll try to pause once I get into position, more or less. But yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip getting the key here, and I'm actually just gonna jump on top of this building in order to trigger a cutscene, because the air trigger is high enough. So first I'm gonna angle the camera so that I jump off the top of this. I'm gonna walk over a little this way, and then hopefully not fall off like that. That's not exactly what you want, especially since... Okay, this is good to showcase. If you miss, then these guys start shooting at you, which is bad. Okay, you want to get to, like, here-ish. Around here. Okay, and, I don't know if this is gonna work, because, like, there's tons of guys shooting at me, but what you want to do is you want to see up, you want to turn to about here. Yeah, see, that's something that happens. I'm too far to the left. Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kill a couple of these guys, just to show exactly where you're supposed to aim. Because again, this is a really dumb area. It's not hard, it's just hard to, like, explain exactly what I'm supposed to be doing while there's tons of Bokoblins here. So we're gonna kill all the archers that are on the ground here. You don't do this in a run. Anyways. Okay, so if I can dash off the top here, this is a train wreck. Alright, you want to walk a little to the left. Probably about here is good. Then you turn, aim like here. And as soon as it's over this thing, you just use that to LJ, and you'll land over here, which is what you want. And you can jump attack onto here. Roll around. You can walk up this ledge or jump attack. This is just what I do. And I turn and jump attack just to be safe. You can't roll off that because you'll just fall off. Anyways, it was a horrible demonstration of that trick. And this is a horrible demonstration of this fight. Anyways, so you want to get... As soon as he starts moving his axe, or sounding like he's moving his axe, and you can time this rather than looking for any sort of cue. You can time it. You want to jump / quick spin, and then that'll put him into a down state. You could spin attack 4 times, and then you backflip, and as soon as he swings his axe, you basically jump attack quick spin again. And if you missed a spin attack, you should probably do an extra spin attack basically after that, which is what I did. And then, you wait for him to start swinging his axe again, and you should kill him on the jump attack quick spin at that point. So anyways, you just don't want to go early on the axe swings, because then he'll just block you and waste a ton of time. Anyways, you definitely don't want to get hit, because you want to have a decent amount of health going in here. So I'm not going to show the non-post-skip route, but it is a valid option. I just think that it's, like, reasonable to do post-skip. I don't think it's super hard. Anyway, so we run in here. And it is faster to go through here as Wolf, because the transforming is faster in HD. SD goes in here as human, because that's not the same, because they don't have quick transform. See up, grab this claw shot thing, go back. Pretty simple. One thing you'll notice, I didn't mention this, if you're Wolf, you can just B attack through the sand, like single B attacks. Make sure you don't chain them. And, please. And, essentially what will happen is you'll just jump. And basically that means that Wolflink can't really sink in the sand unless you go into one of those little vortexes. So just don't do that and you'll be fine. So yeah, if you roll like in between the wall and the torch there, you can roll back, which is good because you don't want to miss that in post-skip route, basically. Because if you do, you'd have to like walk back on the land, because you don't actually turn into wolf in this route. Whereas the other route, you would turn into wolf anyways, so if you went in the sand, you could just turn into wolf there and be attack out, rather than turning into wolf to this room. But anyways, yeah. Alright, so the idea of post-skip is basically that we're going to skip the Poe that's right in front of us. He's going to spawn here. The game doesn't actually check that you got this Poe, because it assumes that you have to get this Poe to get the scent, to be able to get the other Poes. But you can actually get the scent from any Poe. I don't know why they coded it that way. Basically, you want to pull out a bomb, throw it here, and then hope and pray that you get these guys to explode on the bomb. I only got one of them, so I'm going to try to get the other one. Ideally, you get both of them on the same bomb and just trust it and immediately go. Gosh. I have plenty of bombs. I mean, it doesn't matter. So you have, like, way too many extra bombs in any percent with this route. Okay, but then you want to target, like, up here. LJ over here. Alright. The reason we want those worms dead is because we want to be able to target properly and precisely without being hit off by any sort of moldworm. Or not. Are they called moldworms? I forget. Anyways. So yeah, basically we're gonna do a precise backflip and jump to get up onto this ledge and then be able to get over to the other side of the room with an LJA. And what that's going to allow us to do is go ahead and go straight to Poe 4. And if we do that, we can kill Poe 4, which is the one that like rotates around you. We can kill Poe 4 and get the scent from that, and then we can do the other half of the route in like a wonky way in order to skip the first Poe. And the time save doesn't really come from skipping the first Poe, but like doing this wonky route that lets us skip several rooms that we'd normally have to go through. And I'll get to that in a bit, but basically, okay, so I'm gonna just show what I do to set up this trick. So I'm gonna, okay, there's like a little line at the bottom edge of this little pillar here. Okay, and I'm gonna line that up with the camera, like it is kind of right now, so that the bottom of it is like parallel with the bottom of the screen. And I'm gonna walk kind of over to the right here. I've already done like a more in-depth tutorial on this. I don't think it uploaded to Twitch, but it's on YouTube. But anyways, and then, okay, so it's hard to see because it's paused and the screen is dark. Basically, you want to be, after you get far enough to the right, you want to start walking straight forward so that you're walking in a direction that's like perpendicular to the line that you lined up to the bottom. Hi, Lunai's. And essentially, as soon as you see, there's like a little area in between the bottom left part of Link's right heel, the line that's going up and to the right that you see here, and the bottom line of that pillar. And if you see like a lighter brown triangle in that area, and Link is getting like what look to be higher steps, then you're generally in a good position to go ahead and do the trick. So what I'm going to do is just keep walking up until I see something that's kind of like that. I'm going to walk a bit more to the right. And like, he's getting what looks to be like the triangle, but he's not doing the high step like that. So you want to see something like that. I think this is too far to the left, but it might work. Anyways, you want to Z target. So what I did was, as soon as I stepped up, I did a C up. And then I'm going to turn the camera and Z target so that... Hi, Z-Maniac. So that, okay, so there's a brown brick up in the top right corner here. This, like, lighter brown part. You want that to be just off screen. So, like, that you can just barely not see the light brown. And this isn't, like, super precise. You can probably... I could probably do, like, this and it would work perfectly fine. And then I'm going to backflip and hold up and left. And then I should grab this ledge. Like that. And it's pretty consistent. You just have to know what you're looking for, and that's the hard part. It takes a bit of practice. I have a better video on what you should be looking for, but that's all I'm gonna say about it in this part. You should go look at that if you like want more information. But anyways, so once you get up here, you can just kind of LJA over to this part. And you can aim and target on the wall too. I just can haphazardly throw it so it's above the stairs. You want to have boomerang and bombs out here. My controller display isn't working? Oh, that's so annoying. It should be. Okay, wait. Oh, I have to have it up front. Or I think I might have minimized it or something. Yeah, I minimized it. That was the problem. I apologize. Okay, after I finish this room, I'll go back and do it again with input display just to make sure that it's obvious what I'm trying to do. But anyways, yeah. I guess I had the window minimized so it wasn't working. Anyways, after you skip the cutscene, you want to target this guy. Not target this guy. You want to bring out the bomb, target the guy. Targeting the guy will drop the bomb. And then basically press the boomerang button and you throw a bomb into him immediately. I don't need any more bombs right now because I'm going to grab some before I need them again. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get back over to the other side of the room and show that off with the input display. Ow, rude. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, we're going to do that again. Just to make sure it's clear. I have a video with input display on, but I'll just show this again. So you walk to the right. You don't have to have your sword out either. That's kind of important. Okay, and then once we start walking up, he's doing like this high step, and you can kind of see a triangle. Kind of. It's not a perfect setup, obviously. Like, this might not work, but it worked. So yeah, you do that, basically, and you hold the directions I was holding. How precise do LJs need to be? The ones in here are not really precise. That one that got back to this side of the room was, like, a little more precise in terms of where I started my positioning, because if I wasn't pretty far forward, I probably wouldn't have made it, but they're usually not very precise. There's some that are precise. I mean, it depends on the LJA, so, like, this is not precise at all. I can just throw it and it's up the stairs and I'll make it. Anyways, okay, so I already killed the guy in this room, so I don't need to show that again. I don't think. Well, I did a bad job demonstrating what you do last time. Yeah. I mean, you get used to the gyroscope. It's helpful for aiming quickly. It's not helpful for aiming precisely. Which hurts in a couple of places. Like trying to do Aerolfos skip, but that's not really very viable in HD anyways, because the rolls that you need to do for your setups aren't very precise. And I just don't like that trick, so I'm not gonna show that. Because I'm lame. Okay, anyways, okay, so, okay, actually, I should explain this. My input display might not work when I bring the thing back up, but it might. I don't know if it depends on the game software being active. Anyways, okay, so, there are these poses. They're gonna rotate around you. I'm gonna target immediately as soon as I can once. And then I'm gonna zoom the camera out. They're gonna spin around you. And so basically, there are 4 places the guy can spawn. And I'm not gonna move from this position either, because that's kind of important. So whenever he spawns in one of the directions, yeah, my dogs are in the background, I'm sorry. Whenever he spawns in one of the directions, I'm going to just start mini-charging and walk directly in that direction to where he is, and hope that it's a good enough walk, basically. And as soon as he's in the target range, I just go ahead and jump attack, or not jump attack, but mini-charge at him. And so the reason I'm talking about this specifically and saying you need to, like, not move from here is because there's specific ways you can manipulate the RNG so that he'll start spinning really quickly immediately after. Thank you, Zolof. Immediately after you get the first hit, And so I won't be able to show all 4 of them here, but I'll mention what you should do for each of them. So if he spawns in front of you from this angle, so like the guy right above paused, basically you're going to land in the sand, and so you don't want to target him immediately. You want to move to the right, get out of the sand, and then immediately target and press A to jump attack at him. And that should cause the guys to start spinning fast. If he goes to the right, then you just immediately jump attack him. Like you target and press A. You don't have to move or anything. You just target and press A. And if he goes to the left, what you want to do is you want to target and side hop to the right. And that should usually work. And then if he goes down, you just want to sit there until they start spinning quickly. So I'm going to see which one I get. Okay, so this is the side hop to the right, and you see they immediately start spinning fast. And so basically, if you keep those strats in mind, then you can eliminate like a lot of the RNG from this. If you had Gold Chew, you can drink that and then defeat this guy in one go. But I don't have Gold Chew Jelly, and I mean, I don't know. Anyways, you get the sniff from here. I might talk about some of the Gold Chew strats at a later time. It's pretty easy. You just gotta remember the 4 directions and like what you're supposed to do. Anyways, okay, so you saw I jumped down here onto the chandelier. It's important not to go into the sand. If you go into the sand, you want to void, because there's no way to get back up here other than doing post skip, and it's faster to void because there's Muldorms there and whatnot. But you want to be on this side of the room, specifically because for this route to work, you need to push this box 4 times. That clears this doorway entirely, and so the game will save this block as being out of the way of the doorway. Which is important because you're going to run back through here later. There's a 20 rupee in that chest if you want to grab it. But, I mean, that just... A lot of rupee route depends on your rupee count, so if you have like really, really low rupees, then you might consider getting it. I'm just not gonna bother. Okay, so we're gonna, now since we got the Posent from Po 4, we can actually dig this up, and we're going to do the second Po you normally get normally. Doesn't it save the cube? It doesn't save the cube if you don't push it entirely. If you don't push it 4 times, then it'll be partly still in the way of the doorway there, and yeah, it won't save. Otherwise, we push it once, because pushing it is slow. But you have to actually push it out of the way of the door. So, okay. I guess I should just explain what happened. So, alright, when I pull the chain back in the other room, you want to walk so that, like, Link is positioned so that the length of Wolf Link is parallel to the stairs, so that you drop down faster. You want to kind of position yourself on the first stair, and then just you drop really quickly. It saves a little time. Then I ran into here. I pushed the little switch around, or whatever, the lever thing. And then I walked over to the Redead, and I mid-charged so that the Redead would be between me and the small chest, and I released the mid-charge so that I would go ahead and hit him while being able to immediately grab the chest with Wolf Link. And then I go ahead and untransform, and 1 hit from normal Link will kill this guy. And then I can knock this guy down if he's being annoying. Ideally, you equip this claw shot at some other point. I just always forget. But like during the Po 4 fight, might be a good idea to go ahead and equip it there. I'm gonna run in here and I'm gonna jump attack this guy. Go ahead and attack him. Kill those 2 heads with a mid charge, and then go ahead and get him. That's the fastest way to do this. Basically, okay, I should explain something else. When you jump attack at these, at Po 2 and 3, which are this one and the next one, they start attacking you earlier, which means they become vulnerable earlier. And so essentially, You should be attacked down here rather than doing what I did. Anyways, this rat can hit you off this lever. Okay, I'm gonna pause and actually finish my thought. I'm sorry. Okay. So basically in that room, that allows you to go ahead and min-charge the Poe much earlier, which means that the skulls are still gonna stay out of the way. And then you can deal with them while the other guy's reeling from being hit the first time. Which means that you can get them without delaying the Poe again. And they won't get in the way of you hitting the Poe the last time. So that's probably the easiest and fastest way to do that room. Then down here, you wanna dash until you can be attacked directly into the hole. You start pushing the lever back around, and it's possible for the rat to hit you off, but it'll also stop you from pushing the lever earlier. So it's debatable if you want to kill it, if you want to leave it alive. It depends. But basically, if it hits you off early, the lever will continue moving around, and you can exit the room earlier. So it's something I guess I should mention. Alright, then we're going to go out of here. And now, in the normal route, after getting this Poe, you'd go directly upstairs and into the room above this room. But we did Poe skip, so we're going to go ahead and do a different route and skips a bunch of rooms. So we're just going to dash into here. And we pushed that block earlier. So we can actually just run back through here. And what this allows us to do is we can climb up here and go ahead and get to the top. And since we have a small key from the other part, and we didn't use it on the door down there, we can actually use it on this door, which is locked from the other side. And we're actually going backwards through part of the dungeon now to get to the other side of Poe 3 room. And this is Poe 3 room. And this is awesome. This is why Poe skip is great. Because, okay, so not only do we skip the room that's right after the little spinning room or whatever, right, where you have to, like, LJ onto the chandelier or whatever, like, there's something like that, and then have to do a bunch of extra stuff and get another small key and whatnot, and it just takes a bunch of time. Why'd I get the post smell? You have to get the post smell to dig up that chain to go to Poe 2. Anyways, okay. But the other great thing is, that last room I was in, normally you'd go through there the normal way, which means you'd have to grab a small key in there, which would cause a bunch of rats to come in there, and they can, like, possibly mess up your movement. But since we don't have to grab that small key, those rats never spawn when we go back through there again. So we can just ignore that entirely. The other great thing about this is that this room is painful and really bad, because you get screamed at by redads a bunch in the normal route. But in Poe skip route, they don't actually look at you. How do I explain this? Redads don't start screaming or target you unless they are looking at you and you're, like, within their attack radius, right? So if I just walk up directly behind this redad and just sit next to it, it shouldn't do anything unless I walk in front of it. So we're going to exploit this and the fact that there's Stalkins here to basically target the redad, some Stalkins behind him, and if we get enough in there, then that basically guarantees that we'll go through the redad twice, which means we essentially mid-charged it twice, quote-unquote, which will kill it. And we don't even have to bother with the other redad. And so we don't get screamed at all, which is amazing. It's really, truly amazing. It eliminates a ton of RNG and makes it super easy. So I'm going to walk up to the left of this guy. I'm going to target, wait until some Stalkins are in here, and then see how it attacked him twice. Essentially how that works is you target the redad first, so you'll jump through the redad last. But also you target some Stalkins where the redad is between you and the Stalkins, right? And essentially that makes it so that you hit the redad on the way through the first time, and then you'll hit the redad on the way back the second time, which is awesome. So basically, everything in this room is super easy now. The Poe fight is a bit more annoying, so again, we're gonna jump attack at this Poe to make him come down faster. That way we get a free minute charge. And then we're gonna mid charge through all these guys. And hope that we don't get hit off of this Poe. You don't want to have to fight this Poe twice, basically. Because these guys can knock you away from being able to grab the Pole Soul, which is really bad. So ideally you kill all of them during that last mid charge, but sometimes you just have a few that are left alive. Anyway, so we get the Poe. So now we have all the Poes we need, because it only checks 2, 3, and 4. Not the first one, so we can just ignore the first one entirely. And we're gonna run back through here, back into the main area, and the door, the big door, should open. So just like that, the door is going to open. Voila! We have successfully skipped the first Poe and saved a ton of time and eliminated a bunch of RNG from the run, because Poe skip is far more consistent than like a lot of the stupid stuff that you have to do, in my opinion, in like the normal route. Okay, so there's a normal way to go through the second half of the dungeon, but we don't care. We want to go through it backwards. So there's a way you can get through this little sand part and over to the other side and just climb up and grab the boss key and go through the spinner areas backwards. And so that's what I'm doing here. You just want to like kind of line up here and just keep pressing B until you jump through. You want to like wait between B presses, but you'll eventually jump through that little gap. And then you can, if this doesn't work the first time, like if you can't climb the first time, just be attacked to the side, basically, and try from there. Like that. Yeah, why do a normal way when you can go backwards? Well, I mean, sometimes the normal way is faster, but, you know. Anyways. You go ahead and get the boss key now. I mean, you could skip it here, but we have to get it anyways. And you don't want to go all the way to the boss door and notice that you don't have it anymore. So since we're at the top of the spinner room, we can actually just go through this entirely backwards as Wolf, especially since Wolf can just jump through sand. So we're going to go ahead and jump down here, we're going to jump attack, I'm going to jump attack to the side of this. You don't want to fall into that pit to the left, there's no way to get out of it. And we're going to, okay, B attack onto this area. Then we jump attack from near here to get on top of here. And what we can do then is just jump directly on here and grab this little small chest. And we're grabbing this because it's faster than being down a bomb. So without the spinner, good luck going into the boss door. Well, yeah, that's true. But I was saying, like, you could skip it on the way to spinner and then save warp and go to the boss door and you wouldn't have it. Anyways, okay. The reason we're grabbing bombs is because before post skip, we had exactly the number of bombs we needed optimally. And so basically, we'd have one fewer bomb than normal because we use at least one bomb to kill the worms, possibly more. And so essentially, it's easy to just go ahead and grab a bomb here, the 10 bombs, because it's pretty fast, and it's a lot faster than not using one of the bombs in Hyrule or getting a bunch of extra rupees in order to skip getting the boomerang bomb in Kakariko that we get before City in the Sky. And so we just go ahead and grab the 10 here so that we have like way too many for the rest of the run. Okay, and then we just dash across here and be attacked 3 times and get across the sand. It's pretty easy. Okay. You want bombs equipped now. So jump down here, B attack across the sand. I try to B attack so I destroy this skull here. I'm gonna put a bomb down. That should lock this guy in place. Pull out a bomb right now. Press B to drop the bomb, because it pulls out your sword. And then like that, those guys will walk, that were like over near where I was, will walk over towards that ledge. And then that bomb will be close enough to kill both of them, basically. So this door should open, because they're all dead. You can just walk over here. It doesn't matter if you fall in the sand. You can still target in time. Target this claw shot. Ideally, you pull out that sword, and then you jump off of the little platform there. And if you get the jump, you can B attack onto this, Like, you can do a little sword slash in the air to go ahead and land on this immediately. It saves a little time. But you can also just do that same thing right here as well, which saves even more time. It's good. Okay, Death Sword. Okay, I'm gonna go through the first phase because it's pretty self-explanatory. You just want to go ahead and pull out your sword and do a jump slash here. Skip the cutscene. Go ahead and start spamming turning into the wolf, because you have to use that for his first phase. As soon as he's gonna start slashing at you, just jump at him and just do an A attack. Okay. I'm gonna target him, and then as soon as he starts moving up, I'm gonna let him... Okay. I'm gonna basically go ahead and throw the boomerang at him. You can use a claw shot, you can use a bunch of things. I just use the boomerang. Anyways, you gotta stun him somehow so that he starts spinning around. And then basically, once he starts spinning around, he can either go clockwise or counterclockwise. The timing on the spin attack is a little bit different depending on which way he goes. But basically, you spin attack him to get him down. And, okay, so this mini-boss is interesting. Combos... So he has a timer for how long he's going to stay down until he goes back up into the air. And he has 21 health, so basically you need a total of 21 sword slashes. A fourth hit of a combo counts as 2. So there are a bunch of ways people do this. But basically, one of the oddities is he has a timer, right? But any combo hits will reset the timer. But a fourth combo hit will make him go straight back up in the air. So ideally what you do is you hit him 20 times using some arrangement of combos and jump attacks and whatnot, and so that he doesn't go back up in the air. And then you do some sort of finisher. I mean, basically, one way you can do this is just have him come down and just do 7 3-hit combos and he'll die. There's some like, slightly faster ways to do it, but that's a pretty consistent way. You don't have to stab. Some people stab, but if you stab, then you risk whiffing. I usually just do straight 3-hit combos. It works pretty well. How do I know the HPs? Because it's just documented through practice, basically, that this guy takes that many hits. But anyways, yeah. So essentially, what I'm gonna do, and I stole this strat from Torp, and I don't know if he... Yellow Torpedo, and I don't know if he stole it from anybody else, but basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this guy to come down. I'm gonna do a jump slash, and then I'm gonna do 5 3-hit combos. And then 1 4-hit combo, and he'll die. And that does exactly 21 damage. The jump attack does 1, then you do 15 within the 5x3, and then you do 5 damage in the final combo. So it's 1 plus 15 is 16, plus 5 is 21, and you kill the guy, because the 4th hit does 2 damage. So basically, if you can count that out right, it'll work. But again, a decently fast setup that loses like maybe a second to that is to just do 7 3-hit combos. But anyways, it's just something you have to practice a little. It's not really hard. If we had ball and chain here, we could do like something with ball and chain, but we don't, so... Anyways, you get the spinner, you want to go ahead and save warp. So you want to get to the front of the dungeon. This is faster to go from the front of the dungeon to the boss room than where we were. Okay, we're gonna use the spinner to get across the sand here. You could technically transform into a wolf again, but this is just a waste of time. You just roll like so to get across the room. Link puts away his invisible spinner that he's apparently holding there, which is kind of funny. Just go through here. And basically, we're trying to get back to that main circle room, near where we got the boss key. And essentially, we can just use the spinner now to get to the boss room, since we already have the boss key. So we're gonna go ahead and spin here. just use spinner there. One thing you can do is you can, like, if you just hold down and right on the camera stick, like I am on the input display right now. Okay, and you want to jump, like, right here, by the way. But basically what you'll do is you'll turn the camera so that it goes out of bounds. You can see where you need to jump a bit better, so you'll just have a better angle. But you don't have to do that. I just do that because it makes it easier. Let me just go into the middle and spin here. Go ahead and ride this thing up to the boss room. And you can roll while falling off the spinner if you hold in the direction that Link is facing. So theoretically, you could, like, spin over more to the right there, and then roll. But, I mean, that's just small movement optimization. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, because I want to try to discuss what we want to do with Stallord, because there's not going to be a lot of time to discuss things when we're doing the fight. So, the spinner moves really fast in this room, which is nice, because we're going to use that for movement, like, at the start and beginning of this, but also, essentially how the first phase of Stallord works is that he has 3 health, and there's no way to do more than 1 damage per round, essentially. So you gotta actually go back up to the top, and then go back down and hit his spine. You gotta do that 3 times. The first one is super easy, because you basically just can go straight into his spine, so that's completely free. The second one, you have to try to find a gap between some of the soldiers that are in a wall, so you gotta be attentive and have good instincts on that. You can also try to go around them, but then you risk not being able to get back to the spine, in which case you can try to hit a soldier that's behind him and possibly bounce back to the spine. It's a possible option, but wouldn't always work. But then on the third one, it's basically, you have to do what I just mentioned, essentially. Because there's going to be some soldiers that spawn pretty close to his spine, so that you can't just go straight to his spine if you find a gap in the first wall. You have to go past the first wall, around to the side of his spine, and then find some soldier guy to bounce off of with the spinner, and then go back to hit his spine. And if you miss, and you know you're going to miss, you should probably just go back up to the top and take a little bit of time loss, because if you try to get to his spine and, like, risk it, then you'll end up running out of speed, possibly, right near his spine, or, like, hit his elbows and lose all your speed immediately and get stuck. And then you have to get off your spinner and roll all the way back up to the top and use the spinner. Probably get hit by one of those tops. And it just takes a long time. You don't want to have to do that. So, essentially, I'm going to try to do a good first phase here. I'm going to try to show it off. So, again, the first hit is super easy. You just go ahead and get on your spinner and jump off. And once you get close to the spine, you just press the spinner button. Okay, there's a gap right here. Sometimes there's not very big gaps where you just can't react in time, in which case you just go back up and try again. Okay. I did get over the soldier in the back in time. And then this time I just got unlucky and I wasn't going to have enough speed, so I went ahead and did it again. Okay, I could have got to that one right there on the left, but it's safe just to go to the one back here. Your camera will turn automatically, and you can just bounce off and hit this guy's spine. So anyways, it's kind of luck whether or not you get a good first phase. There's stuff that you can do to help your consistency, like going for... On the third hit, you want to generally go pretty far behind his spine to hit one of the soldiers that's back there, rather than one of the ones that's close to him, so that you have more time to react and for the camera to change to hit his spine. But yeah. Okay, so we go ahead and spin here. I'm going to go ahead and discuss the second phase now, because there's basically strategies for both phases of this that are much faster than just haphazardly doing it normally. Okay, so normally this fight is really long, because what you'll have to do is you'll have to essentially go up can wait for him to, like, attack you 3 times, and then you do, like, combos on him 3 times to kill him, right? But what you can do is, if you get 6 quick spins on this guy, the quick spins multi-hit him, so they do more damage. Like, each quick spin does 3 damage to him, essentially, because it hits 3 individual times. So you get, like, 18 total damage, and he'll die. Like, for example, you can replace one of the quick spins with a 3-hit combo if you want to, and that usually has enough time where you can pull that off. But anyways, you can get them down in 1 cycle. So that's part of the strategy. You need to chain 6 quick spins in a row. And you can miss 1 and probably be fine, but if you miss 2, you're probably toast. Anyways, the other thing about this is that you can, if you get good timing, you can knock down Stallord really quickly and basically hit him before he ever goes up. So what you want to do is you want to roll 5 times while staying close to the circular wall, and then as soon as the... Okay, so the song is going to go bum, 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 bum. Okay, you want to press the spinner button as soon as it goes... The 3rd note that I did there. So bum, 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 spinner. And then the sound continues, essentially. And if you do that, then you'll go onto the wall, and Stallord will be facing the same direction you're going, and you'll be able to, like, be wedged in between the wall and him, and you can jump off the spinner and hit him down, like, immediately. And so hopefully I'll get that to be able to show it off. But that's what you want to do, and then once you get the knockdown, then basically you can just 1 cycle him. I mean, if you miss it, then tough luck. You basically just go around and do this the normal way, but if you miss it, it loses like 25 to 30 seconds or something, so you really don't want to miss it. Also, Link teleports here from the middle to kind of close to the side to the very side. Yeah, that's probably the best timing method. There's other ways you can time it, but anyways. I don't know what the camera was doing. Yeah, the camera messed it up. Do you guys want me to go back and, like, try to do this again just so I can show it off correctly? I think I'm gonna do that, actually. I should be able to get it next try. I mean, it won't take that long to get there. It's like 3 minutes. I don't know what the camera was doing. That was really weird. Like, it turned... Normally, it just lets you have the camera normally so that you're facing the wall. Oops. But anyways. So we're gonna go back through that and get another chance to see first phase and, like, various ways you can react, I guess. To just how the soldiers spawn, but yeah. It won't take too long. I apologize. I didn't think the camera was gonna do that. And I actually have no idea why it did that. It just did. Alright. Is the soldier spawning tied to the save file? I think it's random. I mean, it's tied to, like, when you go off of the spinner, and I think it runs some sort of script that's random for where it spawns them. Like, it's somewhat predictable. Like, they'll spawn at a certain radius away from him, usually. But where exactly they will spawn is not entirely predictable. Like, there's probably, like, a probability field, basically. And there's some rules that they have set in place, but it's not really predictable. There's a reasonable amount of randomness to it, so... The heck was that camera? Yeah, if you hold the camera down to the right there, you can clip the camera out of bounds, which just makes it so that you can more easily see where you're going. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do phase 1 again, which shouldn't take very long. It's like a minute or something. First hit is free. Just bounce off here, hit him. You do have to actually press the spinner button. If you just run into the spine, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, so I reacted because I saw the gap there that was a little bit more to the right, so I moved over to the right. See the gap here. This is the best I can do, unfortunately. It kind of worked. I was lucky. But sometimes there won't be a soldier that spawns really far away that you can use, so you have to risk it with one of the closer ones. And you can't get the camera to turn, but it can still work if you get it right. I got lucky because I bounced it off the inner wall and ended up hitting his spine. But it's a bit more risky. Anyways. It's interesting, if you go on the first attempt for any of those, you're actually moving faster than you would be if you go back up to the top and then jump off again. You'll have less speed doing that, basically, if you do it again. So it actually makes it easier if you miss the first time. For some reason. We're gonna try to get this stupid strat again. If you're listening to music in the background when, like, doing this trick, I suggest not doing that, because you really want to be able to hear the music cue. It's not hard, it's just... Okay, this is how the camera normally is. Okay, that's how that normally looks. So you'll get wedged in between there, and that's how it works. And you have plenty of time to, like, make completely sure that you're actually getting in a circle on the control stick here before you do before you press B. So you shouldn't try to chain them, like, super fast, because you might get a slash. And if you get a slash, it's, like, actually a lot harder to get a quick spin after that for some reason. But anyways, that's how that fight works, basically. And I'm definitely glad I went back and showed that off, because it's nice. Anyways, alright. So this heart is kind of right in front of Link, and you could, like, roll into it, but it's actually faster to just throw the boomerang at it. You just, like, press Y if you have a boomerang on Y or something like that, and you just get it immediately. And it's also faster to use the spinner to get out of this room. Just make sure you don't fall off the bridge, that would lose, like, a minute, because you have to go up all the way. Anyways, alright. So... unfortunately, in HD, you can't use some exploit to get out of here without raising the mirror, because Minda won't let you. And they, like, actually fixed the bug in the last one that let you. But anyways, why am I getting the heart containers? Palace of Twilight. You take a lot of damage in Palace of Twilight, so it's for safety, basically. You can skip them if you want, it's just some of them are really fast. Okay, so I'm gonna hold to the left here. And then since my sword is already out, I'm gonna do a jump attack quick spin. Or try to, and fail horribly. I'm gonna roll stab this guy, and I'm gonna roll over here to get both of these guys to come at me and do a quick spin. That's the fastest way I know of killing those guys. But there's a bunch of ways you can do it. You can turn into Wolf if you wanted, it's just slower. Anyways. So now we gotta raise the mirror by going all the way up here. Skip a couple cutscenes, then we're gonna go ahead and go to Zora's Domain, because we're gonna start heading to Snow Peak. So there's a lot of movement in the next however many minutes. If anybody has any general questions, they can go ahead and ask them, I guess. I could discuss things. Wouldn't mid-discharge be quicker? Well, spin attack can also kill multiple enemies, and turning into Wolf and then back out of Wolf is slow. But anyways, so we're just gonna go over here, and we want to go to this right side, because we gotta go over here to talk to Ashe. And I don't know if it's faster to jump into the water or jump attack so you land on land. I think the water is faster, so you don't have to do some complex stuff, just jump to the right of the waterfall. It's not hard. Anyways, so go ahead and skip this cutscene, talk to Ashe. She's gonna give us the thing that we need to go talk to the Zora kid, I forget what his name is, Rallis, I think. We're gonna go to him and then get the fishing hook that we need to be able to get the fish that we need to be able to get the scent that we need to be able to not void on the way up to Snow Peak. Very complicated, I know. So we can go all the way to Kakariko and do this. If we had map glitch, then we could skip like all of this and basically just go straight to Snow Peak, which would be lovely. Unfortunately, we don't. So we basically have to do it this way. If we had map glitch, actually, we'd probably do Snow Peak before Arbiter's Grounds, actually. But maybe not, I don't know. I just think that Ball and Chain saves a little bit of time in Desert and Arbiter's Grounds if you happen to have it, so... If somebody ends up finding map glitch, that'd be really nice. Because you disable the loading zones that make it so that you can't climb early. You could also skip Fishing Rod that way. Wait, what am I doing? You can't do Tunnel Warp here. Anyways. Well, I hope that someone would find a way to map glitch at all possible, not only viable. Okay, you can't show letters or items to people unless the speak thing is on A, so you do want to wait for that rather than just immediately spamming whatever button it is to show him the letter. Because then he'll just, like, not do anything, basically. And it also resets the timer for how early you can speak to him. So you could potentially just pull it out over and over and over again, and he'd never look. Yeah, map glitch would definitely change the route. I don't know how many things it would actually change, though. It would probably change dungeon order for Snow Peak, and it would save time because you wouldn't have the fish and stuff. It would just be very nice. I don't know. I don't think it would change early game route, though, because we don't have back in time, so you still have to get the slingshot. Well, I mean, unless there's a way to clip through the gate in HD that I don't remember. I think there might be a way to bonk through the gate with Epona, and then go rescue Tallow immediately, in which case we could do that, and then... I don't know what we'd do after that, but we'd do something like that. If we had map glitch, because we wouldn't need the fishing rod anymore. It would save a bunch of time, basically. Because you don't need the slingshot for anything other than the slingshot tutorial. Although I'm not sure if we can do that, actually. Because we'd still need the wooden sword. Anyways, I should talk about what I'm doing. I jumped over here as Wolf. I'm just gonna fishing like normal. You just pull the rod as soon as you see the bobber move at all. And it should work pretty much every time. Go ahead and sniff the scent. You see how the scent is here? That means we won't void. There's a couple places where it checks that you have the scent and that you're in the right area so that you don't void. So that's why we actually need the scent. It's not like we can just run in the proper route, unfortunately, because it checks to see if you have the scent at all. But anyways. What did they change to remove bit? Okay, well, they basically made it so that... They patched it in like 3 or 4 ways. So... I'm just following this scent right now, so I don't have much to discuss, so I'll discuss bit right now. So there's no reset button, no way to like manually reset the game on Wii U. So that's one thing. Another thing is that they basically made it so that it crashes. If you manage to get bit, it would be like a hard crash, and you'd have to turn off and back on the console. And then... let's see. Also, they made it so that you can't move if there's text on the screen. So even if you could get bit, I don't think you could open menus or, like, control anything. So you'd basically have Link standing there, but you couldn't do anything. There would just be text on the screen. Anyways. What's up? What's up, gamer? How you doing? Okay, anyways, the ladders are slow. Claw, shut up this. Okay, I'm gonna try to do something here. You're gonna backflip and then target up here very quickly so you can climb up. Ideally, you hit the ceiling, but whatever, it works. You skip all those bats, you don't have to kill any of them. Okay, alright, let's see. Okay, so this is like an actual trick, so I guess I'll go ahead and discuss this. If you void in like certain areas of this part, it'll assume that you had to have voided from where the Yeti dude is. So essentially, we can LJA to void over in that general direction, and if we go far enough, we'll spawn right next to the dude and start that cutscene. That means we can skip this little messenger fight. And so we're just gonna roll around to the side here like 4 times. Aim. That was a wrong spot. Okay, anyways, you want to aim Link so that he's facing like this direction. And then if you get it here fast enough and you just press Y, you can jump out this way and don't have to worry about the bats at all. And you'll just spawn next to where Yeto is. Mine's a bit freeze on Wii. Yeah. Anyways, the faster option is to say no here. You can just spam B to say no. Okay, and so since we didn't kill the messengers, this like weird overlay of snow is still here, which means that we can't see quite as well as we would be able to otherwise, but it's like, and it's called blind snowboarding, but it's actually super easy. Okay. Oops, I didn't need to pull up my sword there. Okay, so you're faster in the air than on the ground, so ideally you like just jump and do a bunch of quick spins like this. But there's a few shortcuts you can do here that like save a little bit of time. So like, I'm gonna go up here, and then I'm gonna hug the wall, not that much. That wasn't how much I wanted to hug the wall. If you hug the wall and then you jump like there, basically, except with more speed, then you'll jump over a significant portion and basically save a little bit of time. There's some rupees you can grab here if you need them, which I probably do actually, because I have like no rupees. But I'll just grab some other rupees as backup. But there's like 95 you can grab on this route, plus some various green rupees, so they're just there. Okay, and then we're gonna take this shortcut. It's pretty easy. We can do a spin attack, maybe cut some corners here. I don't know. Yeah, that's why the blizzard is still there. It's because of the messengers. You can also jump onto this bit to cut some corner a little bit, but it also makes you lose speed, so I'm not sure it's necessarily faster. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. If you do a setup for this, this does not save time at all, and this is like completely worthless, so don't do this. But basically you can skip the minute text if you jump like... Okay, there's like a trigger box for the mid-text that's like here to this post, to this post, to this post, but it's a ground trigger, so if you jump over it twice, then you can skip that. I don't know. But we need rupees to open City in the Sky, and we need 300 for that, so that's why I'm in it. Anyways, so that's snowboarding, basically. So now we're at Snow Peak. We're gonna go through this dungeon in like a really weird way, because it's fast. So, there's a gap here. We can just move over a bit this way and throw the boomerang and LJ across, which is cool, because now we can get this heart piece if we wanted to, but we're not over here to get the heart piece. So there's a bombable floor here. You'll see that I can target something. For some reason, they didn't make it so that you couldn't target through the bottom of bombable floors, probably because they assumed it had to be bombed for you to be able to go through it, or see where a target was, etc, etc, etc. It's like, there's no way to get over here otherwise. But anyways, we can actually just claw shot to this target, this right here. Just aim here, and claw shot. And now we're on the second floor. Okay, we target the window behind this little thing. But this is a timing thing, you really just have to practice it. But we target behind this thing when we're standing about where we are right here. Target the window behind this little chain thing. target this top right corner, and then we target somewhere on the wall over there. And we do 2 jump attacks like so to get over here. There's ways you can do it like just single LJs, but that's lame. Just do the double LJ. It's not that hard and doesn't take that long to get used to. Just need to practice it a bit. Okay. So there's an ice wall down there that we want to get over. We can't actually destroy it with a ball and chain. And if you land on the wrong side, it's gonna basically cause a cutscene to play. So we're gonna roll onto here. And essentially there's a couple ways to do this. You can slide down on the right part by just walking over there and sliding down. The way I do it is I side hop from here, and it will necessarily put me in the right spot to get to this side of the ice wall. This door takes forever to open. Don't roll into the door. Just wait until it says open and press A. Push this block, since we got that key earlier. Now open this door. One thing to note, it's faster to open doors from the right. Okay, we're going to talk about this in a second. But yeah, it's faster to open doors from the right, not because opening them is faster, but because closing them is faster. Because of Link's animation, going through the left door is a little bit slower on the other side of the door, but going through the right door is faster. So, anyways, there's a couple methods to do this next trick. So, normally you would need bombs and a cannonball, which you'd have to get over here in a very convoluted and annoying fashion in order to kill this Freezard. But essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to basically use the invincibility frames from being hit by a Freezard and the Freezard's collision to push us through this door here and be able to get onto the other side of the door and open the door from the other side. And if we do that, then we can go ahead and get into the Freezard room. And there's a couple ways to do this. One is to run behind this wall that's over to my left, that's between you and the Freezard, let him turn all the way that way, then run around him, get stunned by the ice, break out of it, and just angle yourself between him and the little corner of the door frame, and just press B while holding forward to jump attack through. Like, you don't actually jump attack, you do a normal B attack. Just want to make this clear. You don't target, you don't do any of that, you just press B. You hold forward and press B. But there's a faster way to do it. You basically make it so that he turns a little bit towards your direction while you're walking by him. You go into the corner, and then you B-attack the wall, and that will cause you to get hit by the ice and get unhit by the ice immediately, and then you can just angle yourself properly and jump through the door immediately. And so that's what I'm going to do here, if I get it. So he's turning towards me, do that, and then I didn't do it fast enough. So we're going to try that again. Yeah, so like that. And then you want to transform, hold ZL, and walk backwards, and just grab the door when it's open. Yeah. It's not hard. It's just you need to know what you're doing, basically. Okay, there's a couple ways to do this fight. I'm gonna do it by claw-shotting over the guy. And you just need to spin attack his tail 3 times. Okay. So, the other way you can do that is by running circles around him while he's swinging the ball and chain. I don't exactly know how you're supposed to do that, but if you do that a couple times, he'll throw the ball and chain at you, and it's a little faster than what I did. But you can also use a bomb here, and that basically damages him so that you only have to do a jump attack quick spin whenever you get back around to him, but you have to do the other strat for that, and I am not good at that. So basically, you can just do that. It's possible, I'm just not showing it off. Anyway, so we go over and grab the ball and chain. And then we save work out of here. And everything done well. From entering Snow Peak to getting the ball and chain should take about 2.5 minutes, maybe a little less. It's like maybe 2 minutes, 20 seconds, something like that. With cutscenes and all, it's very, very easy and quick dungeon with a bit of practice. Okay, I'm gonna show some backup rupees. Ideally, you have 100 rupees here. And if you had 80, you could do a different backup rupee than this, but I only have 78, and I don't know where I'm going to get 2 rupees. So if you basically swing the ball and chain without looking down here until the there's a bubble that spawns here. Until he spawns, then you can look down, you hit the thing, and it gives you 100 rupees. And so that's probably the fastest backup rupee, other than maybe fire rupee if you have 80. But essentially, you just need to get to 300 before you talk to fire. Otherwise, you waste time. And you won't have enough rupees to go into City in the Sky. So the good thing is, even though I'm doing tutorial, the night cycles are actually correct here, and it's night. Which is what you want it to be. So you just jump up here. Okay, you can transform the Link. If you're standing about right here, put the bomb down, angle up, and then target a few times, like right here. And then you hear that noise, you can like go ahead and get down here. Okay. If that happens and the rupee doesn't come down to you, even though you know you got it, what you can do is you can kind of just, if I can do it properly. Normally this doesn't happen because the boomerang will grab it. But you can jump attack on here and then angle to like here. And this should grab the rupee on its way down. No. I can't remember exactly where you target. It's somewhere on here, I swear. Really. There we go. Alright, and if you're in the air, when that rupee hits you, you get the 300. You want Knight so the tower doesn't shout at you, correct? Because you actually have to get up there to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and equip Claw Shot and Spinner. You can do this while you're walking in here, because you can't roll. But anyways, now that I have 300 rupees, I can go to City in the Sky. I don't know, I probably didn't do the setup justice there. But usually when you get the boomerang bomb, it'll bring the silver rupee down to you. That was extremely weird that it didn't work. Okay, so we're gonna do early City in the Sky. This probably saves like an hour. No joke. Doing this trick probably saves an hour, because you don't have to do Temple of Time, and you don't have to do the second half of Snow Peak to do the Temple of Time. You don't have to do all the stuff leading up to Temple of Time, and you don't have to do the little side quest where you get all the Skybook letters to go to City in the Sky, to move the statue after you restore the Dominion Rod, doing all of Hidden Village. It just takes forever, basically. It might be more than an hour. It saves a crap ton of time. But anyways, so what you want to do is you basically want to angle your camera so that Link is facing. I mean, the angle's not like precise, but if you wanted to do something, you could angle it so that this edge is like here on your camera. Because this angle will probably work, is what I'm saying. And you sidestep until both of his feet are on this platform. And then you talk to Midna, basically. Like, as soon as both of his feet are on this platform, you talk to Midna, and you transform into Wolf. And then if you hold jump attack, you'll blow through. So, yeah. It saves a ton of time, and it's super, super simple. And basically, now you can just go get the cannon. Okay, if you try to warp it by talking to her there, she won't let you warp. You can also LGA through. I don't remember if that works in HD. I don't recall that working, but it might. I think it's different. Because I think the collision's a little different. But anyways, you can map warp through here. So right now, Midna thinks that Shad is here. So she won't let you warp if you just directly talk to her. But if you go through the map, you can just warp. You don't even have to like ask her to warp. You can just back out of the text and then just map warp, which is what I did. Anyways. You've only seen it on HD? Okay, well maybe that's possible in HD. I just know that that setup's really easy. What I just did. I mean, under high pressure, you might miss it a couple times, but it's not that bad. Anyways, we can go ahead and go to City now. So again, you want to transform like before this post, otherwise Plum will come talk to you and waste like 20 seconds. Alright, so this guy's gonna ask you for 300 rupees. And we're gonna give it to him so that we can go to City and Sky. So that's cool. And this cutscene actually sets the time of day today, which is like, it'd be kind of useful for a hundo, I guess. It's just interesting. He did it on GC. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Anyways. Right. So now we can just go City and Sky. We don't have to do Temple of Time. This is a shame, because Temple of Time is kind of a nice dungeon, but there's all dungeons for that if you want to do that, and show off Goron Mines at the same time, which we also skip. Anyways, it's nice that there's multiple categories. But yeah, we're gonna get shot up to City and Sky, and we can start doing that. So there's a few major tricks in City and Sky that save a bunch of time. Probably the most important one... Oh, I just realized that I didn't do gate unloading. That's unfortunate. I won't be able to show off one of the tricks. But basically, if you do Water Temple and do what I did and go to that one room on the same power cycle, like if you go to the home menu, close the software, and come back, it's not the same thing, right? Then the gate after one of the rooms will be unloaded, and you can just LJ down to the mid-boss room, but I'm gonna have to go the long way. I mean, you shouldn't normally have to do that, but... Anyways. Yeah. Okay, so the main trick that I'm going to do necessarily, though, that's not the HD exclusive trick. There's no way to skip that cutscene. Is basically we're gonna skip loading the fan. Which saves at least 2 minutes if you do like all the best strats. If you'd still lose 2 minutes. And it's way easier to do it this way. So, anyways, okay. So there's some gaps here we could cluster across. But it's much faster to LJ. I'm gonna wait for this guy to attack me. When I LJ so that this boomerang hits the pillar and comes back to you early. Hopefully you dodge that guy. Okay, then we're gonna go up here. Okay, well, I'm gonna show what you can do to skip this. Which is just walk to like the top of this and then transform into wolf and press A afterwards. And there's a faster way to do it too. So basically after that point is where the trigger to load the fan is. But basically, since you're wolf, and wolf has a longer body, I think, he can open the door from further away without actually setting the trigger. But you can roll like this, and then just open the door. And theoretically that should work. I might have rolled to the wrong spot. Yeah. So see, that's what it looks like if you fail it. So I don't want to show all that stuff. So I'm just going to go back to a few minutes earlier and just redo that. Yeah, sometimes that roll strat just doesn't work, so it's kind of risky to do it that way. I don't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab rupees again, waste a few minutes. Sorry. But you get to see this again. It's kind of nice, I guess. Give 100 rupees. Unfortunately, I don't have to wait to load save files, so I can't do gate unloading without, like, turning off and back on my console a couple times. Because I want to have the input display up. So, yeah. We're just gonna have to not do gate unloading. I'll show where the gate would be unloaded, though. You get to see this work this time, because it actually grabbed the rupee. And you get to see what happens if you don't grab the rupee in the air. There you go. Anyways. Okay. You just get a pretty good angle here, like something like that. And do this. You should clip through. Pretty easy. It's not a hard trick. Wrong spot. Sometimes the map can be weird, unfortunately. So, anyways. Yeah, so we get the cannon back here, and go back to City in the Sky, and not fail the trick this time. I was a little too far forward, basically, so I crossed the trigger for some reason. I don't know why. I don't really feel like showing off the backup strat, because basically if you miss that trick in a run, your run's dead. No one wants to lose 3 minutes or so. So, eh. In this way I get to actually show off the proper strat. But yeah, that rolling strat usually works if you don't suck like I do. Anyways. So normally at this point in the run, there's like less than 40, or I'm sorry, there's less than 55 minutes left in the run, I think, once this cannon fires, basically. So that's interesting, I guess. Alright. You have to watch the stupid cutscene again. So sometimes the wind in this first room is weird and will blow like immediately when you're trying to get up from the stairs. See if we get it here or not. But if that happens, you just lose time and there's nothing you can do about it at all. At all whatsoever. So, like, that wind cycle was bad. Hitting this little crystal is hard sometimes as well. We're gonna try the roll again. Yeah, see how I'm like further away this time? I can like nudge Wolf Link a little bit. And now the fan should be unloaded. And ideally, if you aren't a pansy and roll close enough to the door without crossing the trigger, as soon as you turn into Wolf, you'll be able to immediately open the door. You can always use the slower strat to set that up, but I just don't feel like doing that. Okay. So, I'm just gonna sign off here. You basically have to load this bridge. It's possible, if you're really crazy, you can get off the spinner when the bridge is almost done and then roll. It's really hard to pull off. You have to be really good with timing. I'm not gonna do it, but anyways, so we roll over here, and do an LJA here, aiming there. You can always claw shot across, but it's definitely slower. Like, this saves time even over a double grab claw shot. Oh, that's something else I can talk about. Every time you claw shot finds, you have a chance of getting one-handed grab or a two-handed grab. And a one-handed grab is like probably a second or two slower than a two-handed grab, and those are like completely random. So if you get lucky, you'll get all two-handed grabs. It's just unlikely. So you roll over here. Okay, and then I'm going to target, like, here. And you can do this coming out of the small key thing. then walk over here, and if you don't suck, then you'll angle it something like this when you walk over here, and you can just claw shot over immediately. I'm gonna try to do that. Well, I can't get over there, can I? I'm gonna, like, try to simulate what it would look like. So the camera's, like, here, right? We're gonna turn around and then do it, yeah, like that, basically. Anyways. Okay, so in the next room, there is a cutscene trigger since we have the small key. And that will trigger Argorok coming over and breaking down the bridge, which wastes time for a few reasons. One, the cutscene. And two, we actually spawn in a different spot if we skip the cutscene. If you skip the cutscene and then you save warp, you'll end up back here. If you don't skip the cutscene and you save warp, you'll end up back at the start of the dungeon. They did this so that basically you won't get stuck if you save warp between here and getting the double claw shots, because the bridge would be broken and that would be a mess, because then you wouldn't be able to get out of here. You'd basically hardlock your game. I don't think you'd have any way to get out of that situation. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to go around that trigger, and there's a couple ways to do this depending on the wind cycle you get. If you get the wind to start immediately, you can do a faster way, which I'm bad at, but I'll try to show what it looks like. I just won't actually do it, because if I try to do it, I will probably end up triggering the cutscene on accident. This is really hard. And then there's the easy way, which I'm going to ultimately do after I do the hard way first, or try to do the hard way. So I'm going to wait for wind cycle here so I can show it off. So the wind comes up, and now you just start rolling over this way. You target up here, and you side hop onto here. You angle yourself, and then you roll onto that staircase ledge and go up. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. So I avoided it. Oh well. I didn't trigger the cutscene though. So anyways. So now what I can do is, instead of doing that, I can do the easy strat, which is to claw shot up here, angle yourself so that you're facing like this direction, and then press A and then press B pretty quickly right after. You drop down and the wind carries you over to this area and you avoid the trigger. And that way you skip the cutscene. So now that we have the small key, we can go over to the other side of the dungeon. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go the really long way because I didn't do gate unloading before I started the stream, unfortunately. If I had remembered, I would have done it. There was no way there's no good way for me to do that, unfortunately. So anyways. I'm actually going to see if there's a heart in one of these pots over here, because I want to have a little bit more health for the mid-boss. But anyways. Yeah, there's one right here. If you have, like, 2 hearts, you should be fine. You can get away with 1 3/4, I think, would have been fine. Okay. So I'm going to show how you normally do this room. Because why not? So normally you go around this way, you go at an angle into these fans, kind of like so, and you don't bonk. That is the perfect example of what happens when you do it wrong. Man, I really should have walked through this before doing the tutorial today, but anyways, you just roll through this without bonking, and then you can get over here, which is good, because you want to go through this door, right? But unfortunately, since I didn't... There's a door, or another gate that's similar to this in Water Temple, and only one of them can be loaded on the console at the same time, and clearing the dungeon, doing a bunch of other stuff, does not actually unload it. So this would be unloaded, because the other one in Water Temple was loaded, or Lake Bed, or whatever. Which would mean we could stand about right here, and then target like here on the wall, and then throw the boomerang and do an LJ, get straight down to the bottom. But since I don't have that luxury, we're gonna go around the long way and do some extra rooms. You can just basically ignore all the stuff I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to do some cool stuff. Really? Is he off? Good. Alright, I'm gonna try to do a glitchless strat. Yeah, that's something you can do. The other thing you can do is you can go around this side of the room by LJing over this void to get over here, but you don't normally do this, so you don't really need to pay much attention to this. Anyways, just LJ over here, because why not? Let's see, maybe I can... No, I'm not gonna try that. You could potentially LJ over there from here, but I'm gonna go over here and do it. Because I'm a wuss. Alright. If you end up somehow having to, like, actually do this room, just go here and spin attack, and these guys will just die. And then you could claw shot that before the cutscene starts to already be on the vines, but I'm bad, and I faced the wrong way. Basically, in other words, don't do this to run. Make sure you don't reset your console in the middle of the run. Are there hearts? There are. Nah, that's too bad, only one. Alright, we don't need any more rupees at this point, by the way, which is nice. What am I doing? Oh my god, I forgot about this room. Like, completely. This is a total train wreck. You have to actually make this switch go down. Is that thunder? I guess that's thunder, probably. Anyways. Okay, so this fan is gonna blow me up. I'm gonna explode, man. Nice bog. Alright. There is a fancy way to do this room. I'm gonna try to get it, but I suck, so I won't get it. Yeah, you can, like, kind of grab that ledge and then work your way around here, but I am really bad. So instead we're gonna claw shot from down here to get this. And then have to go up a couple wind things. I know SD does this in, like, a really fast, weird way. It's kind of difficult. So that's something you can theoretically do. Alright, there we go. We're through the room. Now we're in this room. We can, like, jump attack, jump slash down here, I think. We can also take Uku, which I should probably do. Let's see. How do I angle this again? Maybe if I, like... almost. I'm gonna try a slightly different jump spot and angle, I think. Just for kicks. Yeah, look at that. Pog. Anyways. If you hold the iron boots button through this door transition, you can put them on immediately, like, during the door transition, like so. I am gonna go ahead and grab hearts here, because I need more than one. Here's one. There we go. Alright, I have plenty now. Okay. So before I drop down, though, I am going to discuss the Aerolfos mini-boss. Alright. So, essentially how this works is you need to do the equivalent of 9 ball and chain hits to him and a stab, or 10 ball and chain hits or something like that. And so, and that is the damage threshold to kill him. So there's 2 damage thresholds on this boss. There's one, which I don't know exactly where the threshold is on this. I just know it's above 4 ball and chain hits, and the equivalent of 4, which is like 8 sword slashes. Like 2 full combos would do enough to send him back up in the air. But that's the threshold to get him to fly up in the air and fly around. But we want to defeat him before he starts flying around, because that's slow. So interestingly, you can hit him and damage him by the ball and chain hitting his shield while he's trying to attack you. So if he's like in the blocking animation, it won't damage him if you're hitting him. But if he's trying to attack you, then basically you'll damage him without it checking the threshold to kill him. And so theoretically, you get like a crap ton of damage on this guy and like overflow the damage. I don't even know. You could do some crazy stuff if you wanted to sit here forever, I guess. But anyways, besides that, if you basically hit him 9 times with the ball and chain and then stab him, he will die without flying up. Or if you do 9 hits with the ball and chain and then hit him with the ball and chain while he's vulnerable, so you just claw shot him down and you ball and chain him, he'll die. There's a quick way we can get 4 if we pull out the ball and chain while he's falling to the ground. And I'm going to try to get that timing, no promises. And if you do that, then you can get 4 free hits at the very beginning, which helps a lot with how many times you have to wait. But I'm basically going to show what you want to do to try to get a fast fight. You have to be somewhat lucky. Okay, so I didn't get that. So I still need to do 9 hits. So I got 3 there. That was 0. We're up to 5 now. I need 4 more. And probably get it on this next cycle. Okay. That didn't count because those were blocks. 6, 7. Alright, we need to grab some health because we actually have to hit him one more time before we can stab. This is far from ideal. Okay, now we have 10, which is plenty. Now while he's trying to attack us, we can go ahead and stab him and he'll die. Because he won't be able to block us because he's in his attack animation. So anyways, yeah, that was a really botched attempt. There's practice files for that so that you can practice the timing of pulling out the ball and chain when pulling down the Aerolfos, but it saves a lot of time and grief if you get the ball and chain pull as you're pulling them down. Like, it makes the fight a little bit easier. Other than that, a lot of that fight is RNG. You can still do Aerolfos skip in this game, it's just very difficult with gyro, and even without gyro, it's very hard. There's no notches, so rolling is just weird. And it's harder to walk straight forward or roll straight forward in this game, so that's part of it. Okay, so now we save warp. We're gonna do the rest of the dungeon. So we gotta grab the boss key, and then we can just go straight over to the boss. So if you pull out your sword here, and then just do 2 side ops, you'll end up on the top of the chest, and do 2 jump attacks. And if you do that in quick succession, that's faster than going and claw-shotting. Anyways, there's some tutorials out there that show off the Aerolfos fight as it's supposed to be done. I was just showing like a real-world, real-run example of what it might look like if you mess it up, basically. So there you go. Flash out up here. It is faster to go through this door. We don't actually have to go this way. We could go through the other door because we can't trigger that cutscene anymore now that we have the double claw shots. But anyways, yeah. So I like to stand with that blue square and then claw shot so I can aim, try to get on as high on this pillar as possible without getting hit by the Helmosaur. Then we can, since the fan's off, we can just claw shot up here and go straight outside. So now we're over near where we're in the room where you need to be in to be able to get to where you need to be to get the boss key. And so we want to line up like a decent spot here. So like maybe here, aim up, and claw shot here. And if you do that, then you'll end up here. You can LJ across this little gap by targeting basically so that your boomerang is above this door. And now since the fan's not on, this makes this even easier. We can just roll right over and grab the boss key. And we don't even have to turn the main fan on, like for the next room. We can just skip doing that. Because you'll see that these fans aren't spinning, and that's because we didn't turn on the fan back here. But turning on that fan is slow. I mean, you can get across this room anyways, so we don't need to do that. I think this is faster too, because you don't have to wait for cycles. So if you claw shot the top of these grates, like the very top, I'm gonna do this fast. So the right side of that post, and then the left side of that post, and you should make it. And make sure you're far to the right on that second place where you claw shot it to. But yeah, if you claw shot to the top of the grate, and you're above where you would be if you claw shot it to the top of the grate, you'll climb up onto the top, and then be able to do that. There are single LJs you can do. You can do one to get over onto the thing, and then another to get over here, but the double LJ is faster. You want to target once on the right side of that little post, like pretty much on the very edge, and then twice on the left side. It's a little lenient, but you really kind of do want to do the very edge as well. It's the safest spot to do. And now that we're over here, we can just go into the next room. And we never had to turn the fan on, which is lovely. Okay. There are some Aerolfos here. We don't have to bother with them at all. Although I think they do have less health than the mini-boss one. So if you felt like you needed to kill them, it would take less time, probably. But anyways. Okay. So we're gonna have to time our claw shots here. So that we, like, actually grab these things. Let's try to get a decent fan tower. So, like, aiming here with that timing probably works pretty well. And there's this quick claw shot you can do here. I'm gonna try to get... Yeah, like that. It saves 10 seconds to do that rather than going all the way around that and then trying again. So you definitely want to get that. Anyways, but that's basically how you do this room. It's just claw shotting. It's really not that hard. Oh, also what I just did was a one-frame trick. So that was pretty cool. You use the iron boots to fall faster, and then if you take them off at just the right frame, you'll be able to roll as soon as you land. Normally you don't get the roll, but still falling with iron boots saves some time, I guess, potentially. We're talking about frames, though. Okay, so there are some vines up here that we need to climb to get up to Argorok, but it's slow to climb those vines. So we're going to try to climb as few of them as possible. So I'm going to roll a couple times and slide all my way over here. And then try to claw shot really high up on here, like looking for this little target here. And then I'll claw shot super high up, which means I only have to climb a few times rather than like 20 or something, or 15. I don't know how many it would be. Okay. Okay. So I didn't grab that hard. But anyways, you need to be standing next to one of these posts so that he doesn't do the skid across the stage thing. And then basically you can claw shot like so to get his tail. You don't want to be standing in a bad spot or claw shot too early, because then you can potentially get a glitch called Cool Game. Okay, but I'll discuss that later during the cutscene. I'm just gonna do this now. You want to hold X, or whatever button you have claw shots on, with your iron boots on, target up on that right post, and then you can immediately target this guy's tail again, and grab him, so you only have to do one cycle on the first phase. Okay, so Cool Game, which is the glitch I was talking about, you'll, like, grab onto his tail, but you won't be able to press any buttons, and he won't fall down, and he'll actually drag you all the way around the stage while you're on his tail, which is really cool, because you can see everything, and you're just flying around. But the only way to get out of that is to soft reset, like save, warp, or something, and basically it kills them. So, don't have that happen. The easiest way to make sure that doesn't happen is to be standing in a good spot, and to wait until you can target the tail, to actually claw shot it. So, anyways, this cutscene's like a minute long, so you could theoretically take a bathroom break during it as well. Alright, you want to take Iron Boots off immediately. And now you want to roll over to one of these posts and put on Iron Boots. I always use the same post. You want to claw shot pretty high up into the center, like towards the inside of these pillars, so that you can claw shot up here faster. Nice lightning. Okay, as soon as he screams, claw shot, and then wait with your Iron Boots on. You need to have the Iron Boots on. As soon as the fire's over, you claw shot the next one, and then claw shot 2 more. And you can leave the Iron Boots on here or take them off, it's your choice. Leaving them on is a little faster. You claw shot over to his back, which is a little bit hard, and you don't have that much time if you have the Iron Boots on. And then you just can slash him. The second cycle is the exact same. So it's just the exact same thing. You'll get a second chance to look at it here. When he starts screaming, it's slightly dependent on when you get up here. So if you get up here faster, that's better. You save a little time. Okay, so again, the fire needs to be over you. Or about to be over you, basically. Then 3 times. Grab his back. And that target's pretty lenient. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, remember that he's moving. Anyways. Okay, the third one's different. Because he turns around on the third phase normally. So basically, what we're going to go up here, we're going to take off our Iron Boots. And we're going to claw shot 4 P-hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then as soon as it passes the one behind us, the fire, I mean, we put on Iron Boots. If we do this right, we won't get hit. And then as soon as he starts spitting fire, take off the Iron Boots. And you can claw shot his back. And kill it. That's the fastest way to do Argorok. It's really not hard. You just gotta know what you're doing. Maybe practice it for like 3 times and you'll get it down really fast. It's not hard. And this cutscene's also long. Lots of long cutscenes. Okay. Hog Champ. Yeah, long cutscenes, if I'll get this right. So I could stop now and possibly watch the Wheel of Fortune, but I think I'm gonna try to finish this, because there's not that much of the game left. Palace shouldn't take me longer than like half an hour to go through while explaining it, and Hyrule doesn't take that long either, maybe like another 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish probably. It's like another hour. Alright, so again, we're grabbing that heart container because we need a lot of health for Palace, and if you want to grab any container, you should definitely grab City, because it's the one right before Palace, and determines that you actually have full health going into Palace. It's probably the most important one that you grab. Don't skip that one. Okay, so I have my Iron Boots on here, because if I jump slash right now, spam B, then you land on the bridge rather than in the water, and you can warp very quickly to Palace. So put your Iron Boots on before you go into the cannon, that way you can fall on the bridge by jump slashing. Or slashing while in midair, or whatever. Okay, so we're gonna get a cutscene, it's gonna transform us into human, but it is faster to transform back into wolf and dash up into Palace of Twilight. Just because human movement is slower, and I think you have to wait to be able to turn into wolf if you're not already wolf here. Because Midna's gonna talk to me and say, is it okay if I stay in your shadow for a little longer? So I think they expected you to be human here, and they wouldn't let you transform otherwise. Until you got, like, into this door or something. Maybe not. I could be wrong about that, though. Okay. So, West Wing is first. We gotta grab this soul, then we gotta go to the East Wing and grab that soul. This movement is not easy. Palace takes a lot of practice. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So the fastest way to kill these guys is to B-attack while targeting them, while you're moving in a dash, and then mid-charge them. That should do enough damage to kill them. You want to be Wolf before you go through the next door, or before you go into the mist, I guess. So I just put on Iron Boots and turn into Wolf. Because if you go into this mist when you're not Wolf, Mid will talk to you, and the mist will force transform you, and it's slow, so don't do that. Okay. So, the dash and key attack, the mid to charge. And then you want to get as close to this as possible. You can spawn 4 different places there. If he spawns at the back wall, you want to go and do the B attack at him from the side. Because if you try to do it straight on, you won't hit him. Then you can just walk over to this chest. It's hard to do it during the cutscene, but anyways, grab this key. There's a couple ways to get up here. You can claw shot. You can side hop. Let me show the side hop. That's the side hop. You can claw shot. But my favorite way is basically, it's really consistent because you don't have to have a good angle. You just turn around, pull out your sword, and then just jump slash 3 times. Possibly 2 if your positioning is good. Okay, so this next room has Phantom Zant in it. I don't remember exactly how the HP works out, but I'll explain the 2 main ways to kill this guy. So there's a faster way and there's a slower way. And I'll describe the slower way first. So Zant doesn't start doing his warp chain until he has thrown out enemies at you. So if he does the orb that just like throws orbs at you in the second one, it's fine. But he doesn't do that in this one at all. But basically, if you get to him fast enough and you don't do too much damage, he won't start warping around. So the most consistent way to do this is to find where he is. You need to listen for where he is in your headphones, basically, because it's stereo or surround or whatever. I guess it would be surround, wouldn't it? And that'll let you know where he is. And if you don't hear anything, he's basically where Link is facing, I think, usually. But anyways, so you want to go up to him and do a 3 combo 3 times. So 3 combo, have him warp away, 3 combo, have him warp away, 3 combo, have him warp away, and then do a 4 combo. And that does enough damage to kill him, but that's 4 cycles. And there's a lot of RNG in like how far away from you he's gonna spawn. So you're risking some time there for sure. The faster way to do it, which is harder because you have to do quick spins, and you have the potential of getting him to warp around if you're very unlucky, is basically you do a stab and 2 quick spins, have him warp away, do a stab and 2 quick spins, have him warp away, and then do a stab and 3 quick spins. And that is just enough damage to kill him, and he won't ever warp away and like start warping around a bunch, unless you get a slash on the very last quick spin, which is very possible to do and very frustrating when it happens. So basically, if you get a slash anywhere else instead of a quick spin, you can revert into the other strat. Otherwise, you have to do, like, if you get it on the last one, he's just gonna warp around, and then you just go to the middle and pray that he warps right in front of you so you can stab him early, but no promises. Anyways, I'm gonna try to do the fast strat. Okay, so he's to the left here. Stab, quick spin, quick spin. That was bad RNG. Stab, quick spin, quick spin. Stab, quick spin, quick spin, quick spin. There you go, he's dead. So that's the fast strat. I could show off the slow strat in the other wing, I guess, but I'm not going to probably. But that fight's actually the same, but easier. Okay, you want to roll pretty far in front of this guy and then just claw shot twice. That way you can like walk to like here and throw the orb before the cutscene. Which means that the stairs should be able to come up during the cutscene, like so. And these little rat things will be out of the way, or slugs. They'll be out of the way so that you can just claw shot in peace. Anyways, if you accidentally throw the soul in front of the door rather than opening the door, which happens occasionally, make sure you pick it up before opening the door, otherwise it goes all the way back to the hand at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to walk over here, I'm going to angle myself this way and throw into that little circle, and then stand around here, and that way I'll be on the top of the stairs. It saves a bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and claw shot that from here. You want to walk around in this little circular pattern along the wall so that those squids don't hit you. Called them rats, slugs, and squids. Wow, I wonder what they're actually called. Anyways, you want to do a similar thing with like a semicircle pattern here to avoid the slugs. Like that, and you shouldn't get hit by them. Alright, and that's West Wing. West Wing is very easy, very consistent, as long as you don't mess up Phantom Zant or get screwed over by like really bad RNG. Okay. So now you can just throw this from pretty far away and start rolling over this way. And taking this platform is slow, so we're gonna LJ across. Make sure you're not facing too far to the right. You can just throw the boomerang and do that. Okay, this room is hell. This next room is like the worst room in the entire game. So we're gonna roll forward, walk a little bit, and then claw shot the target up there and drop down. These bats control you, and then the Zant head control you, and the movement through this room is really difficult. So one way to make it easier if you get first cycle drop is to wait until this starts moving back, and then I got safe luck there, not necessarily good luck. The best luck is if he goes to the very back, because you can get all the way across all of this in one go, and then slash him. It's just very difficult, and for some of the ones, if the platforms are too far apart, you want to roll off and then jump slash to get a little bit of extra distance. If he spawns in the middle, it's the worst possible spawn, though, because he'll usually snipe you while you're trying to get to him, and it's really terrible. It's not super often that that happens. Sometimes you'll bonk into the wall with that strat. I don't know if there's a better strat for that. That's just the one I do. You get a double hit on this guy if you are in the right spot, mid-to charging. Ideally, you kill that second guy on the way back from hitting him the first time to get to the third guy. Sometimes it doesn't work though, and you just gotta kill him. So don't do ninja charges. But ideally, you basically claw shot onto this target before that cutscene happens, and you get a little bit extra distance in the same amount of time. You basically save the time of one claw shot. Okay, so I'm gonna roll like down into the left here. And that should put me about where this little square is. You see this rectangle that I'm standing on? You want to be here. And then you target like, okay, so you see how there's a slanted portion of the wall? Target like just to the left of that. And then as soon as it goes into the wall, jump slash. Or do the LJ or whatever. And then you skip having to jump down into the fog, untransform from wolf, do all that. You can claw shot directly to it too if you get like a good angle and positioning, but I don't know how to do it, so I'm not doing that. Okay. He's to the left here. So if he does that attack, he doesn't start warping around. So that's why the second one is easier. It's like actually easier than the West Wing one. They tried to act like it was harder. He does throw the orbs faster if he does that, but if he throws them, then he's not going to start warping around unless you fail to get to him at all. So it's not a big deal. I'm going to roll pretty close to this so that I can grab this orb. So I can get it all the way to you before this cutscene happens. Otherwise you have to like pick it up off the ground, and that's lame. And I'm going to walk just past this slot and press B to drop this, and then roll onto the platform. And that way you save a little bit of time having to go out of the way. I mean, you can throw it into the slot, I just don't. I'm not sure which one's exactly faster, but this works pretty well, so. Anyways, alright. Thunder is really loud. This room's super easy, because you can just walk straight forward. And then you can do a roll to the side there. It's a little risky, because you don't have much time to make the roll, but it saves a little time if you get it. Just a little. That Shadow Beast moves the orb. You can just grab it. Okay. Okay, so after this cutscene, as soon as this starts coming back, you can jump over here, and then just get all of these jumps in a row. Which is really nice. And then this is just something you can do if you feel like killing bats for no reason. You don't have to do it. You can just jump off when you get close enough. One thing you can do here is hold ZL and A. You'll automatically throw the orb when you get out of the store. And it's a little faster because you don't have to walk with the orb onto the platform. You can actually just claw shot it once you get onto the platform, because it's there without the soul. Just go ahead and claw shot it. And once you get close enough, just jump off, throw this into the thing, and it's like 17 seconds from when it gets into there to the text on the soul, or something like that. So get up into a cutscene. So that's the first half of Palace of Twilight. Usually that'll take around 12 minutes done well from the end of the city to getting this text here. It should be more like 11 if done really well, but 12 is pretty okay. Anyways, man, this is a lot of thunder. And spin attack. Fog here. Alright, I'm gonna show how I do this room. You need to practice this room if you're gonna do this. There's not a very good way to explain this. It's raining over there too? Yeah. It's raining pretty hard here. Roll 3 times, slash, roll, do a stab, then walk forward, do another little swipe. Throw this into the hole, throw this into the hole, and then these cutscenes should potentially overlap if you get a good throw on the second one. But the second throw is completely blind. You just have to know where to throw it. Okay. That guy drops a heart that you can claw shot if you really need a heart, but I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. And while this is in the wall, you can just LJ. If you do that movement, then you can kill those guys like that. What I just did is early Sol platform. So I jumped off of that platform like as soon as I activated it. Okay, sorry. So what I did was early platform. So essentially, I jumped off that platform as soon as it spawned, and that makes it so that it's already active, so I can just walk back this way, and it'll already be up, and I don't have to, like, do the spin attack and wait for it to spawn. Saves a little time. There's another LJA here, you don't have to go for it. But I just target the square, and then, like, over here. And then once it's out of bounds and, like, not over the door, it's, like, a little over to the side of the door, and you can go ahead and do the LJA, and it saves time. It's like a few seconds. It's not that big of a deal, but anyways. Alright. There's some strats in here that I don't do, but I'm going to show what I do here. I'll just roll over here, ignore the shadow beasts, and then once I'm in range of here, I do a spin attack. Kill birds, basically, whenever you can. Because birds are annoying as heck. And if they're over here too late and you don't kill them, then you miss the chance to do an LJA that saves a little time. So usually if you do stabs, you can get these guys. Okay, and then once you're like starting to move this way, you can target here, and as soon as it's out of bounds, go ahead and jump slash. Okay, as soon as this guy drops, you can roll off, jump slash, make sure those guys spawn, and voila. You're already over here. Do a spin attack, roll, do a roll stab, do a jump attack, kill those birds very quickly. You gotta make sure you go on these targets pretty quickly, because these guys are shooting at you. There's only really the first target that you have to be fast about. Anyways, there's a way to skip most of this waterfall, I just don't do it. It's the one strat that I don't do in this room, I think. That happens sometimes. I'm not sure exactly why that happens. Waste a bunch of time, too. But you have to wait a cycle anyways. If you jump attack from there, you can do a quick spin. If you don't jump attack close enough, then, or like far away enough, sorry, then one of the Zant heads will spawn and you'll target him, and your jump spin won't hit everybody, so you definitely want to jump spin from about there. Another one of the movement things, you just gotta practice. Okay, this is early platform. I'm gonna show the easiest way to do this. Like, really easy. Alright, so I'm gonna roll 4 times so that the barrier spawns. Then I'm gonna talk to Midna so that these guys are still falling, but the platform pauses. I'm gonna spin attack. Roll, I'm gonna jump slide a quick spin, spawn this platform, then I'm gonna count to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna roll forward. I'm gonna count to 4, 3, 4, and I'm gonna roll and then jump slash. Timing isn't too tight if you do the mid talk to, and you can just walk over here, because I have extra time. But now I do have to do an LJA over here. So I'm gonna count like 3 seconds after this target is possible. Oh my god. After this target is possible. And then as soon as it's out of bounds, I can just slash over. And I just drop down here for good measure. It doesn't matter when exactly you get this claw shot, because you have to wait for this guy to spawn anyways. He'll spawn in one of like 4 places. Yeah, so much thunder. It's ridiculous. It was like... I hope that wasn't too loud. Anyways. But yeah, that basically... Okay, so the point of that was... That platform up at the top is on cycles, so we hit the earliest cycle. If you don't do those, like, special strats, like some of those at least, then you won't make the first cycle. And if you don't make the first cycle, you lose like 15 seconds waiting for the next cycle. Oops. Well. This is an LJ you can do. You don't... I mean, that didn't really help me. But basically, as it starts rising, you want to wait a little bit, and then you want to target this wall. And as soon as the boomerang gets over there, you can go ahead and LJA. You just want to wait a little bit to make sure you have enough height and don't miss the jump entirely. Just swing this. Okay, as soon as you hear the one die, like that, do a quick spin. And you should get the timing every time. Ideally, they all die on the same frame, so you only get one thing of hit lag. And sometimes there's a fairy in that pot that I targeted there with the boomerang or whatever, so it's worth throwing the boomerang at it in case you're on low health, I guess. Okay, Zant has a bunch of special strats. I'm not going to hit all of them, but I'm going to see what I can do. I have a little task video that I made that's on the Discord, I think, of the strat here, with like all the tricks done correctly, but I'll just see what I can do. I'll try to talk about each phase within the home menu between the phases. Alright, so for this first one, you want to hit him with the 4th slash of a combo in like all of these phases, and that's the only hit that really counts on him. And usually it's twice for each phase that you have to do something like that. Okay, so for this first phase, I'm going to see up, aim where he's going to be, and then throw the boomerang a little early, it saves a little time. And I'm going to start the slash a little early, too, so that I just hit him with a full slash. There's not a very good way to time that, because you don't know exactly how many jumps he's going to do, but, you know, it is how it is. Okay, I'm going to throw this boomerang as soon as I land, and then I'm going to, like, move a little bit to try to get him to go directly into this. Jump slash, quick spin, double stab. And then if you hold that the exact right amount of time, then basically you'll you should do a jump slash quick spin there if it works. Okay, if you do that right, then basically you'll kill him on the first go around and saves like 10 to 15 seconds, I think. So you definitely want to practice that. It's like a 2-frame window though, so it's really hard. Well, I used to be decent at it, but I'm not good at it anymore. Okay, and once you have iron boots on and Zora armor, it actually changes your roll a bit to have Zora armor on. You want to target roll like 3 or 4 times so that you're close enough that you can get him as soon as the door opens. You want to go left, right, up, down on your splashes. That's the fastest combo. Underwater. And underwater, it actually matters. That saves like half a second on a bunch of the other combos. The other fast combos, even, each time you do it. So... okay, as soon as this guy's eyes are completely out of the ground, you want to start swimming over there. And as soon as you get to like the other edge of the circle, you want to put the iron boots on and see up. And go ahead and go grab him. And that way, you don't have to wait for him to shoot at you and stop shooting. It saves a little time. Okay, so how in that last one, on the second one, the Zant head he's in is the one that you're farthest away from. And I think it takes into consideration if you're moving towards one too. So anyways, if you wait until the eyes are completely out of the ground before you move, then he will be in the one that's farthest from you, for sure. Which means you can swim over to that early, and then basically claw shot him right away. So that's what you want to do on that. Okay, so for this one, he's going to jump to the pillar to the back right of where he is right now, and then one a bit further forward and to the right. And I'm just going to roll over to that and hit him down. I have the ball and chain equipped because it's going to help me get a fast second one on this, so he's going to spawn necessarily in the middle one right after that, after I get the combo on him the first time. And then if I just swing the ball and chain on that, I'll get him to fall down immediately rather than having to bonk twice. You can do that on the first pillar too, it's just hard, because there's not much time. You roll over here. And, ideally, you're, like, further around the pillar so that you can just start a combo immediately, because pulling out your sword starts a combo. Okay, you want to stand over here, face slightly right. As soon as you hear his noise, then throw the ball and chain, and follow him with your sword out. and then just do this combo. There's a lunge, lunge, lunge back. If you miss, jump attack him until you hit him, and then start a full stab combo. And that should usually work. We'll see if I have to do that this time. So that's ideally how you do this right here. But if you miss, like, or you slash too early on the first one, okay, I need to explain this too. But if you miss or slash early on the first one, then just jump attack at him over and over again. Eventually you'll hit him, then again start the stab combo. And you'll probably miss the third hit because you'll be sliding past him, but the fourth hit is the one that matters, so that's fine. Okay, so on this one, he moves around if you hit him with anything but the fourth hit, unless he's coming out of a spin animation. If he's coming out of a spin animation, you can land on a full combo on him just fine. But basically, what we're going to try to do here is only hit him with fourth hits. So we're going to like face away from him for the first three, and then stab into him on the fourth. And it's something you have to practice. There's a timing for the first one. You just hold ZL and forward, and you'll be targeting and automatically walking towards him. And as soon as the pillars on the side land, you start the combo. Right after that, you turn around, start a combo pretty much immediately. And then for the fourth hit, you turn around, Z-target him, and stab. And then the last one, if you do both of those correctly, the last one, he's going to, from like behind you, he's going to try to do a spin attack. So you just turn around, watch where he's coming from. And as soon as he gets close to you, you want to spin attack. Then you can roll over to him, and while he's still... I mean, you can wait for him to stop spinning completely and then just do a full combo, and that'll kill him. But you can also, to save a little bit of time, start a combo while he's still spinning, and then do the same sort of thing where you're doing 3 facing away from him, and then turn and hit the 4th. So I'm going to try to do that. Also, thunder incoming, by the way. It sounded, or it looked like it was going to be big, but maybe it's like really not loud at all. Never mind. Oh, there we go. There it is. Okay, so again, ZL and forward, press B as soon as the pillars land. Turn around. Do that. And that is the perfect last phase. So you just gotta do that, and that should work pretty much every time. It's not hard. Again, it's just one of those things you have to practice a couple times. You should have it down pretty easily. So, there you go. That's Zant done properly, except for Goron Mines phase was not perfect. We skipped this heart container because we don't really need health anymore. Hyrule Castle doesn't damage you much, and once you get to the boss, you can get, like, all of the hearts you ever needed in Puppet Zelda. Not that you should take damage in the final boss at all. But, anyways. Oh, I guess I do have Gold Chew in this file, I just realized. So I could have shown off Gold Chew strats, but oh well, who cares. Most of the time you won't have Gold Chew, so I'm not going to do that in this. You can look up the Gold Chew strats, they're really not hard. Like, there's one, okay, one of them is hard. The one on Argorok is hard, where, like, the second phase can be, like, 1 cycle faster. Let's see. There's one that's, you can do it on KB2, save some time, because, or not KB2, KB4, the one that we're going to fight in Hyrule Castle. And the other place it saves time is on that Po4. You can do it in 1 cycle instead of 2. Okay, we're going to walk up to this third thing, we're going to untransform, I'm going to do another postman skip, because there's a final postman. And you don't want to get the postman right at the end of the run and kill a run that's on record pace or something. And I go ahead and equip my bombs here, because there's no real good time to equip them elsewhere. So equipping them while it's Wolf is probably the best time. Anyways, we're about to have a long cutscene. One funny thing is that you can bonk into this cutscene. Like, if you just bonk into this wall and hit the trigger to transition through the arch thing. You can bonk while still going into the cutscene. It's kind of cool, I guess. Anyways, and there are a couple other like swag strats you can do with loading transitions that are funny and don't lose any time if you don't miss them, that is. Anyways, they're just style points basically. Okay, so this is where you really take a bathroom break, because this cutscene's like 1 minute 50 seconds long without any input. But yeah, there's a fair number of strats I should probably explain in Hyrule, so this will take a little longer than I thought, I guess, but it's not that bad. If we could find a way to get past this barrier, then we'd only need Ending Blow. I think we need the Master Sword. We'd need, what else would we need? We'd need a Claw Shot, and we'd need a Boomerang. Well, okay, we'd need a Boomerang and either... No, right. No, we need the Claw Shot, I think. We need the Claw Shot, the Boomerang, and Bombs. You could skip the Spinner, theoretically. So long as you didn't need it for a barrier skip. It's just, it'd be very, very hard to find. We've been trying for a while. But if some major glitch like that probably gets found, then we'll probably just make a separate category for it. Okay. So, you want to have at least 2 bombs going through here, and if you did post-skip route, then you will have extra bombs anyways, so it's not a problem. Even if you waste some bombs, it's fine. You just turn around, have these guys slash you. I go ahead and equip stuff while I'm waiting, they'll all blow up. Okay, so... these barriers actually don't spawn immediately. They spawn during the cutscene, but if you skip the cutscene, you can actually just roll out of them. So I'm gonna just show you, you just roll to the side here, and get out of the way of the barrier, as long as you skip the cutscene somewhat quickly. It's really, really easy. The other one is a little harder. There's 2 of them in this area. But anyways, if you get enough distance on that last roll, then you can get this guy to fall. I'm not showing off this fight correctly. That wasn't even close to correct. You're supposed to do quick spins on this guy. This is not even close to correct. I'm like messing this up super badly. And now he's doing the tornado. Okay. Alright, so what you should do, if you don't suck, the exact way you do it, and you can't miss any quick spins if you're doing this, you stand right in front of him rather than try to go behind him like I did. And as soon as he's about to start swinging his axe, you can time this, jump attack, quick spin, then do 4 quick spins, backflip, immediately jump attack as soon as he does his axe. So you do the jump attack, quick spin, you spin, I think, 1 more time, maybe 2, I forget. It might be 2. I think it's 2. And then you get out of the way, and then you do another jump slash quick spin, and 4 more quick spins, and he should die. And that way, he'll never tornado. But I botched it completely, so don't pay attention to this, it was bad. Also, it's slightly faster to save warp here than to roll back to the front. So, yeah. So we're gonna save warp before Midna talks to us. I'm gonna do that by buffering a backflip here and then just spamming the collection screen button. You can do a side hop, but you'll get the collection screen far more often if you just do a backflip. Like, there's fewer frames if you side hop, so... Okay. On to the second half. You don't need your sword out. Don't pull your sword here. I don't know what I was thinking. It probably makes it slower because he has to put away his sword before opening the door. Okay, now pull out your sword. Roll 3 times. Angle yourself kind of like this with the wall. And jump attack and spam start. And then if you skip the cutscene before you land, basically you'll skip that entire barrier. I think this is the only Dark Nut we face in the run. So I guess I have to discuss this now. How you fight these guys. Slash the shield, walk behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate hits. Do it again, except do 6 this time, because after the 5th one you won't have a shield. Go ahead and equip your ball and chain. Run up to him, the block, slash walk into him. Hit him twice with the ball and chain and then throw. Okay, and then I'm gonna aim at this pillar with the boomerang so that I can spam boomerang right as I come out of the cutscene and it will hit the torch. You have to be in this little diamond that I'm in. And it will work. Okay. The solution for this is always the same. It is top right, bottom left, bottom right, top left. Every single time. You just gotta remember it. If you do enough runs, you won't forget. I have forgotten before, but it's not often. Okay. Pull out a bomb immediately. They'll start walking towards you. Okay, so how that works is they won't be blocking because they'll be walking towards you. So essentially, or they'll be like looking at the bomb before they like try to run away. So, okay. So you pull it out so that the timer starts immediately. You walk towards them. As soon as they start walking towards you, you stop. Wait, no. Hang on. I think, yeah, as soon as they start walking towards you, you stop. They're gonna stop because they see the bomb, but then they'll start back up again because you stopped. And then you throw the bomb as soon as they start walking again. And if you do that, then these guys will die. There's another strat where you can, like, wait for them to come to you, pull out a bomb, and then walk over here and boomerang it into the wall, but it is far less consistent. So don't do that. Do what I just did. It's probably the easiest way with a little bit of practice. Okay, this is another Aerolfos. The fastest way to kill these guys is with ball and chain. Oh, please. I can't do these, apparently. Awesome. You gotta get 4 hits and then a stab. But I suck. Whatever. I could never... Well, I got the timing on the last one, I guess. So you can use that for knowing what the timing is. But basically, when he's about to hit the ground, you start pulling out the ball and chain, and you'll swing it. You should get 4 hits. You hit his shield once with the ball and chain, you continue swinging it, right? And then after you hit the shield once, you throw it. And if done right, on the way back, it should kill the guy. Sometimes he'll dodge it. You need to aim the ball and chain lower. It's not about aiming the ball and chain. It's about the timing of pulling it out, honestly. But I'm not aiming the ball and chain. I'm holding Z target while doing it, so that'll hit him. So, like, I can't aim it up and down anyways. But yeah. If you fail it, there's a couple options you have. You can do what I did, which is probably the stupider way to do it, and like try to ball and chain him 4 times and then stab. Or what you can do is you can wait for him to try to stab you, stab him in a 4-hit combo, and then wait for that again, and then do another 4-hit combo. But again, hopefully you don't have to do that, because you'll just get the 4 hits on the ball and chain immediately. Anyways, there's a cutscene here. You got it by aiming the ball and chain. Okay, well, that's somewhat interesting. I normally don't aim the ball and chain at all. I just hold Z target, and it works very well. But I guess I'll keep that in mind. Alright, so this cutscene's kind of long-ish. And, let me just go get the boss key. Don't forget to get the boss key, because you can go into the tower and go up the tower without the boss key, but that's bad. Don't do that. Anyways. So you definitely need the boss key, or the big key, or whatever, to get to the final boss. I kind of found it interesting how they did this dungeon, where there's like multiple routes you can do at both levels of the dungeon. So like the courtyard, you can go one of 2 directions, and the tower, you can go one of 2 directions. It's kind of cool. Okay, you roll twice. In midair on the second one, you pull out your sword. You roll diagonally across these blocks. That way you don't get grabbed by the rats. I'm not going to explain that very much. You jump slash here. You skip this cutscene. You roll around here. You slash these guys twice, do a spin attack, they die. You roll to this little square, and then you aim at this thing. And if you don't suck, you'll grab it. It's kind of hard to hit that target, but if you do, it saves time, because you're going across 2 slashes and a quick spin. And then hope and pray that you got a good spinner cycle. That one worked. You have to, like, improvise, basically, based on whatever you get. Okay, you can stand here or here, and it'll still work, but usually here is probably your best bet. You stand here, and then you just claw shot this target, and then you skip this Dark Nut, which is pretty cool. That way you don't have to fight an extra Dark Nut. If you don't get that, if you like walk too far forward before claw shotting or something, then you can always just kill him the same way as the other Dark Nut. Just waste probably like 45 seconds. No, not quite that much, probably 30. But it wastes time basically, so don't mess that up. Okay, so we got Puppet Zelda, we have Beast Ganon, we have Horseback Ganon, and then we have the final Ganon. This is RNG. You can fight this with the bottle. I'm just going to show the normal strat, which I think is a little bit faster. Okay. You want her to give you lightning on the 1st, 3rd, and 7th. If she doesn't give you the first lightning, then it's however many before that are added to 7 is your best possible. Triangles are slower than dashes. Same goes with the 3rd. If you don't get it on the 3rd, and you get it on like the 4th or something, then your best possible is 8. So hopefully she just gives you good RNG. This is bad. This is like at best 8. You do want to have your ball and chain equipped here, by the way. Wow, this is really, really bad. You can waste time by like grabbing parts here. You can go ahead and equip Iron Boost for no reason. Okay, so this can still be a 9. And you can release the spin attack a little early, just not too early. But yeah, as long as you're standing under her and do a spin attack, basically the lightning will hit her immediately. All the triangles, dude. There's a 9 cycle with, what? 5? No, not 5. Is that 3 triangles so far, or something like that? I think. There's a dash. So there's a minimum of 3 non-lightnings in between the last 2 lightnings, so... I don't know why I'm talking about this random stuff. You just wait for 3 lightnings. Basically. So this is a 9, which is really bad. Waste a bunch of time. I probably would have lost like 40 seconds to a best split here. You want 7 cycle with no triangles and 4 dashes. That's the best possible thing, and that takes like 2 minutes. Anything else starts losing a bunch of time really fast. Okay, throw the ball and chain at this guy. You can side hop and throw the ball and chain so you don't get hit, but you don't have to. Jump slash, 3 or 4 individual hits and then a full combo. And if you don't do it so slowly like I did, then you'll actually do the maximum damage on that hit. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, right, he's not spawning in the air because I didn't get enough damage on him. Hopefully I don't have to 4 cycle just because I didn't finish the combo. And you can do the same thing to knock him down again. Just make sure you don't do a full combo on the first 4 slashes. I wonder if he's going to be in this phase here where he drops from the ceiling. No, he's not. He's in the... Okay, he can be killed on this one, if I do this right. So on the last phase, you have to grab him with Midna. And I'm gonna go ahead and explain exactly how this fight's supposed to work. If you do the right amount of damage in the first phase, or get a full combo off at all, you can go over to the corner that I was looking towards earlier, that I was heading towards. You stand in that corner, and you just swing ball and chain around above your head until he's like about to start dashing at you, because he'll drop from the ceiling over there. And then you get the same set of hits off on him. And then you turn into Wolf, go into the middle, and then he'll come out of the first portal that spawns. And it's really fast, so you have to be ready, and then you can just run over to him and B-attack him, like while targeting. And that'll kill him. But since I messed it up, I have to do another full combo on this guy. But he should die. So there you go. I mean, I should probably go back and show that, since this is supposed to be a tutorial, but I can load that save file, potentially. I just won't be able to have inputs up. So if you remind me after this, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna do what is going to give me hopefully the best results. So dash twice immediately, go to his left, just keep going straight forward, and then hope he goes gentle into the right, which he did. He does that about 60% of the time, if you do that. And ideally you wait for one more spur before that. I messed up. Like, this is botched because I messed that up so bad. But anyways, if I had had one more spur before I dashed, then basically I would have been able to catch up to him earlier, which means that he would have gone to the left, because I think I would have attacked him from the right side instead of the left side, and earlier, and he would have just gone gently to the left, and Zelda would have been able to hit him very quickly. But anyways, this final one is the easiest phase by far. Beast Ganon's pretty easy, but I screwed it up. Horseback is a bit variable. You can lose like maybe 10 seconds if you know, are earnestly trying and just get bad RNG or something. But yeah, I'll try to show off how those fights go have done well after this. But anyway, so okay, you want to roll twice to go behind this guy. And then you wait like a second if he does the slash. But since he did the boot, I can go immediately. You jump slash quick spin, go right behind him. And then after, like right before he's about to boot, and this is just a timing thing, you do that. And then you can put on iron boots if you want, and just finish. It's really easy. Okay, we are going to do Beast Ganon and Horseback Ganon again. Just to try to show off the actual strats for those. So I don't like that I messed it up. They're not hard, and I want to actually do the tutorial justice by, like, not sucking. Okay. But this shouldn't take too long. Yay. Alright, hang on. Let's get rid of these. Oh, I have the save file manager pulled up already. I just need to load UTAS through here so that I can use it. And I'm gonna just wait until we get the game pulled up, I guess. He does have a save file for Beast Ganon. Yeah, he does. Very good. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if Ganondorf slashes at you on that first one, you need to wait a little bit longer for jump attack, quick spinning him. If he boots you, you can do it immediately. I think. I mean, it worked that time. And I know that if you go too early on if he slashes and you go too early, it's bad. Okay, so let's load Beast Ganon. Do this real quick. I assume that Fino has ball and chain on, or because he would, right? Right, Fino? So, yeah, actually, the way that he goes, by the way, the way that he lands depends on the side of his face you hit him on. If you hit him on the right side of his face, which is better, then he'll land with his left side exposed. If you hit him on the right, or the left side of his face, then he'll land with his right side exposed. And that affects the way that he runs around afterwards. I don't think it actually wastes any time, but you have to, like, not get hit by Beast Ganon when he's like running around after he lands with his right side exposed. But anyways, pull out your sword. 4 individual hits like so. But yeah, he's gonna run around this way, which means that he'll hit. Wait. Okay, that's not how that normally works. For some reason, this fairy won't heal you if you only have 1/4 the heart of damage. Okay, as soon as he's about to dash at you, you throw the ball and chain. And I think you can do the up, 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 down combo as well, like this 3 stab and then 4th down. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, now he's gonna dash at me immediately. So that saves a lot of time because you don't have to transform back into human. And he just spawns immediately, which is really great. It's probably like 10 seconds or something just on that, like by doing the proper strats and getting the maximum amount of damage per thing. So definitely worth practicing. And if you get run over by him, he'll just come out of the first portal again right after that. It's not a big deal. Okay, we're gonna try to get the proper RNG this time and like not mess up my pattern, because this should work. This is something you really have to practice if you want it to go perfectly. Okay, you went the right way. goes gently to the left there if you do this. And, yeah. So basically, if you do what I did, he can go one of 3 ways. The most likely is the way he just went, which happens like 65 or 60% of the time or something. Maybe 65, I forget. 30% of the time he goes further back to the left, which means that you're going to have a hard time getting all 3 shots consecutively, but you probably will only miss one. And if you just go straight forward, it's just a, you'll probably just miss one. It's possible, like, there's tutorials on how to do those other patterns if you get them. It's just a bit harder. And really, it's something you have to experiment with, because, like, the exact amount of spurs you have, exactly where you're hitting them from, and whatnot matters in terms of, like, exactly the direction he'll go and how easily you'll be able to hit him. Especially for the 3rd one. So I had to wait a little longer because that was a slash. And I botched that because I went too early or something. And I botched that because I wasn't in a good spot. If you mess it up, just roll behind him again. And he'll either slash or do, he'll either slash or do a boot. And you just do the similar thing to what you did at the very beginning. You just gotta make sure you're spaced out right. I mean, worst case scenario, if you know how to do this, you'll lose like 5 seconds. Hopefully you lose none, but anyways. And you can put iron boots on during that, like right before you do the finishing blow, just for memes, because Link will run with the iron boots on, but you don't have to. And it wastes time to do, so don't do it. Unless you, like, really hate your run and you're like, well, I don't really care what this time is, I'm just going to beam. In which case, go ahead and do iron boots. And then while you're at it, you should probably do bottle strats for Puppet Zelda. Which I can show, I guess. Actually, yeah, let's show that. Let's show that. I'm bored. Let's do that real quick. And then we'll see if anybody's live that we can watch. I'm just gonna show the first hit, because it's the same for all 3 of the lightning hits, like exactly where you stand. Wait. I need to actually load the right file in. Oh, it doesn't have the... Okay, never mind, I can't show it. There's no Puppet Zelda save, so... I mean, the best I could do would be to die and beast again, and that takes forever. Basically, you want to stand kind of close to Zelda, but not too close, and then just time the bottle press. It has to be an empty bottle, the bottle press, so that you hit the lightning ball. Like, if you're too close to her, then you won't be able to actually hit the lightning ball with the bottle. And if you're too far away, she'll start playing tennis with you. So it's kind of a funny meme thing. I have it in some of my runs, but anyways. That's the rest of the game. I don't think I missed anything. There might have been some tricks that I went for but didn't get, but all the major ones that were like actually important, I got, except for gate unloading, but it's self-explanatory. I explained what to do if you got gate unloading, which you just have to not reset in the middle of the run like I did for this. So anyways, that is TPHD. I'm gonna see if somebody's alive. And I hope that this set of 2 tutorials is like helpful for somebody somewhere. There's Jim, but he already has a ton of viewers. Let's see if there's anybody running Twilight Princess. Let's check HD first. No. Let's check SD. Okay, there's this guy called Jake F. Some Numbers. He has face cam. He's doing 100% learning, I think. Yeah, no problem, Woofy. Okay, how do you spell this again? Jake F. Some Numbers. But yeah, I just realized that nobody had like a long form tutorial that explained a bunch of stuff, so I was like, okay, I'll just make it. But yeah. thank you for watching. Go watch this guy. He's doing hundo learning. Should be fun. And thanks for watching. Well, I made this mostly for people to watch after the fact to help learn, but it was fun to have people here watching while I did it. It was entertaining for me, at least. And so yeah, thank you, and I will see you later.